any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
I got hairy legs. I got worm.
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me. But Lincoln was very...
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Oh, please, leave the room.
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Hey, mister! I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
How you doing, Joey?
Doing all right.
That wasn't my belly growling, by the way.
Yeah, what is that? Hold on. No, this is your mic. That's weird. Okay. Anyway, technical difficulties right out of the gate.
All right.
That is odd. Yeah, just pull that. Well, yeah, we'll try. Don't hit the camera. Let's try this one. Okay, that should be better. Try it.
Check
1, 2. Okay.
Diggity dog.
Yeah, see, we need to get Craig in here for that. Anyway, technical difficulties right from the beginning of the show. Appreciate y'all bearing with me. But to kick off the show has now become tradition on Wednesdays. We have the one, the only Jeff Poor. Jeff, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
And, well, you're the host of the Jeff Poor Show, right? In Mobile there? I just want to get that straight.
That's the rumor. It's funny. They had a show called the Jeff Poor Show, and I said, well, I'm Jeff Poor. I might be the perfect fit for that.
Yeah, and then you're also the editor-in-chief there at 1819 News.
Yes, among other duties, but that seems to be the primary one that takes up the majority of my time these days.
Now, I don't want you to reveal all the inside baseball necessarily, but on a busy news day, like we had especially yesterday coming into today, I mean, how does this process work in the sense that you're collecting all these stories? Your head's got to be spinning, man. I don't know how you do it sometimes.
Well, you know, and if you ever make it down here to what I call the Fairhope Bureau, Joey, someday, you'll see, like, wow, look at all these monitors. It would be a great place to watch college football on a Saturday, I'll say. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 monitors in a very confined space.
Well, and you're just watching all of them at the same time, I suppose. I know a lot of folks who do that for football.
Well, it's not exactly. Like, about half of them are on one side of the room. So, like, when I do my radio show, I do it. I have, like, a guest table where I could sit down, and there's a table with 2 other mics. And so it works that way because people do come here. And then I got a place where I like to work. It's like a drafting table. I used to go to Auburn, was in building science, and I don't know, I got accustomed to using drafting tables where I could stand up talking to a mic, and then I got all these other monitors kind of on the other side with all three cable networks. I mean, I'll tell you what, you guys at 93.1 have a pretty cool setup there in your studio.
Yeah, we're working at it, and we're trying to get the live stream better and better. Other than I see the mic. Something's going on with that mic right there. All sorts of little gremlins in the studio. But given your background, given you're doing the job now, journalisming or something like that, but also a lot of experience in all seriousness there in the Washington D.C. area. How does a story like this Politico one, suggesting Katie Britt to be the leader of a post-Trump Republican Party, how does that even happen? Like, is this something that people are kind of pushing behind the scenes, or do you think Jonathan Martin's like, who is this woman? I want to do a piece on her.
Oh, I think it's both of those. That there are people pushing this narrative. It is probably like this, Joey, and this is how I approach it. It's like, all right, I got a certain audience, and the political audience is not the same as, the talk radio audience or the Montgomery Advertiser or whatever, but the lobbyists, the lawyers, the staffers, the cable news producers, that's who reads Politico. It's not typically something the average person reads. But anyway, they would like to see Katie Britt ascend to power. She's cut from their cloth. She's of that mindset. And what I think is Jonathan Martin says, well, this is right up our alley. And when somebody comes and pitches her, now she's got a book coming out, too. This may have something to do with it, trying to build up her name ID, trying to make her more recognizable. And I think it's one of these things. It's not like, okay, we want a story pushing Katie Britt as president necessarily as the brainchild of a Jonathan Martin writing to a certain audience. It's somebody trying to just promote Katie Britt in general, in a general sense. And he comes up with the presidential part of it just to get clicks or whatever it may be.
Okay, that makes sense. Though, as I read it, the actual content of the piece, I feel like it's a pretty accurate portrayal of who Katie Britt is. I don't like the framing. I don't like the post-Trump thing, and I imagine the Britt camp doesn't even like that sort of stuff. But, I mean, from your sense of her and reading that piece, do you think it was a pretty accurate portrayal of her?
I think as far as the facts go, yeah, but the speculation, I little premature to talk presidential aspirations. But Joey, my phone, when that piece went to press Saturday and Sunday, I mean, really just blowing up everywhere. People really interested in, well, what did you think of this? And even some people, there's a lot of female political types that are like aspiring to be the next big thing in the Republican Party. And you think about Nancy Mace, you think about Kristi Noem, you know who I'm talking about here, Nikki Haley. They see a piece like that, and I mean that gets their attention right away as well, because that's who they want to be. They want to be the next big thing in a quote unquote post-Trump. But whatever the intentions were, the outcome of the piece has, I think, served kind of what it was supposed to.
Well, and I find that I kind of went on a bit of a rant yesterday seeing Nikki Haley's poll numbers and all the good press Nikki is getting, because I don't love the girl boss energy. She had some line where it was explicitly like, get a woman to do the job. And one thing I talked to Senator Britt about is like, correct me if I'm wrong, she talked about being a mother, but on the campaign trail, she wasn't constantly be like, I'm going to be the first elected woman senator from Alabama. I'm going to be the first, like that. She let other people say that. And so I don't know. I find some of these identity appeals a bit ham-handed.
Well, I'll tell you what, the genius of the Katie Britt campaign in 2022 was don't say anything like that. Let other people do it. Let other people do the quote-unquote dirty work, right?
Right.
She's going around being the mama on the mission. She's talking about Jesus. She's talking about Alabama values. And then behind the scenes, underlying is this kind of dark, pushing out these stories about Mike Durant and his weird upbringing and family life.
Yeah.
And then Mo, they didn't really, you look back at that 22 campaign, and this was probably calculated. Like, hey, he's just going to self-implode. We don't have to put a dime toward going after Mo Brooks. He's not disciplined. He picks the wrong battles to fight. Don't worry about him. We need to. Did you notice that they went all in on getting Durant, and they just kind of the Mo thing, the way it took care of itself was going down to Mar-a-Lago and getting that Trump endorsement.
Now, do you think it's fair, and I'm going to move on after this question, move on from Senator Britt, but do you think it's fair when folks kind of write her off and say she's going to be a carbon copy of Shelby because he was such a mentor? I mean, is she easily put in a particular lane, I suppose?
I think there's a real tendency to dismiss that she's going to be a carbon copy of Shelby, but you can't. One thing that you can do is you can't deny that there is a link there between the former chief of staff for Shelby. Shelby, for the last 10 years, it seems, has been talking. Katie Britt, Bill Poole, former lawmaker from Tuscaloosa, now the state finance director, up as his heir apparent. And it was eventually Katie Britt. Now she's tried to distance herself a little bit from Shelby, but you can't ignore that. I don't think she's a carbon copy, but that path to power, that path through the Senate, is something I think that she's going to try to replicate. So let's not say that she's going to be exactly like Shelby was. I think she's way more personable, has way more political talent than Richard Shelby did or has, or whatever you want to say, but she's not. I don't think. I think you can't deny there are some elements of very Shelby-esque qualities to Katie Britt.
Oh, sure, and well, I mean, she's young. We'll see where it goes. I was just surprised to see that piece with such a national spotlight, and I thought it was fairly accurate from the person I've known and talked to. Now, again, folks, we're talking to Jeff Poore, and I want to move now to the state and state politics. And it has to do with the redistricting, Jeff, but I want to talk about the politics surrounding maybe a future gubernatorial campaign, in particular Steve Marshall. And it could be this particular issue, what he's trying to push to the Supreme Court on redistricting, or it could be many others. Do you think he's doing kind of a high wire act by going forward with these cases, and then, if you lose, that could hurt you in running?
I think he had to do what he did. I don't see any way around it. I mean, it's like, I was on with Dale Jackson this morning, and I use this analogy. It's like when Vanderbilt plays Georgia. You're probably going to lose that game, but that doesn't mean you need to sit it out, right?
Right.
You got to suit up. You got to get out there and you got to play it, because if he doesn't fight this, if he doesn't do his best and act to the best of his abilities to take this on, then a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, maybe we need to look at somebody who's more aggressive as an AG. I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do, but let's face it, I mean, it was going to be a very, very difficult fight. He got the legislature to go along with his plan. That's getting the team to buy into your plan is a part of the game here, even though it's probably a long shot plan. He offered the best possible path forward, even though I still think it was an uphill climb.
Well, you're right. People appreciate a fighter. Even if you don't necessarily win the game, people can appreciate, daggum, that unranked team got pretty close to knocking off number one there. So maybe that's to his credit. What do you think of the arguments that we now, that open letter he sent out to the state of Alabama, where he's saying we now have racial quotas essentially in our districting?
I mean, it's also like that's the way it needs to be portrayed. That's the way it needs to be. I think just from his own perspective, or for his own brand, he's got to put something like that out explaining this to people, because people are going to be like, like you just referenced, Joey. What are they going to be really thrilled with losing the game? Are they going to be really thrilled with, taking these deep ball shots and not really connecting? Because this was a deep ball Hail Mary.
Right.
He didn't connect. Why did you do this? And I think yesterday that letter, putting that out there, explains why he was fighting this fight. It's justification for fighting a losing fight, but it's still justification.
Well, and you had the personal ambition to be governor of this great state, the great state of Alabama, Jeff. What position would you want to try to go for that top job? Would you rather be a lieutenant governor or attorney general, or maybe some other position that I haven't named?
I think historically you want to be a lieutenant governor in Alabama to be governor, because it kind of forces you to be part of that state house culture. You get to know the members. And the AG spot, I mean, Bill Pryor, Jeff Sessions, Luther Strange, you look at that, seems to be a platform to federal office. And why is that? It's this, because historically Alabama has fought with the federal government a lot over the last 40, 50, 60 years, right? And as Attorney General, I guess you just kind of get more acclimated to the federal politics. I mean, there are obviously exceptions. Don Siegelman was the AG, and then he became governor. But I just think when you're in that position of AG, it kind of pushes you toward Washington, D.C.
There you go. And now, final question here. When it comes to these new districts, new congressional districts, do you think it's a slam dunk that you're going to get another Democrat or both Democrats win, or do the Republicans actually have a chance in these new districts?
I think Dick Brubaker, who your audience knows, is the strongest possible candidate for the 2nd Congressional District as it's drawn on all three of those maps. He takes enough votes away from Stephen Reed and to take Montgomery out of the equation. Everything else if Montgomery's a wash, and then everything else lines up behind a Republican, because it's going to be a Republican cycle with Donald Trump at the top of the ticket. That's right. And then now the 7th's a little different. The 7th Congressional District, they did Terry Sewell a favor. They let her keep Selma in her district. That's her hometown. She gets a lot of votes out of Dallas County. What about a John Merrill or somebody like that running as a Republican? And it is a Trump cycle. There's a lot of votes out there. Are you going to get the Democrat turnout in Birmingham, Selma, Perry County, et cetera, that you need to win that? Terry Sewell's got a lot of work cut out for it. And yesterday, Joey, real quick, Bobby Singleton, the Senate Minority Leader, said he was exploring the possibility of a primary run against Terry Sewell. So she's got a lot of work ahead of her as well.
Well, I think competition will make us better. I don't love what the courts decided here. I just don't love this whole scheme, but I think you make the best of it and see where the chips land. Well, I always appreciate your time, Jeff, and your insights. If folks want to follow what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
It's twitter.com/Jeff_Poor, and always thanks for having me on, Joey.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Jeff Poor, folks, editor-in-chief there at 1819 News, as well as host of the Jeff Poor Show, 106.5 FM there in the Fair Oak Mobile area. My dad listens to that show a lot. So, gentlemen, how y'all doing?
Oh, good. I am anyway.
Just all right?
I'll tell you after this microphone checks.
Yeah, okay, we'll try it. I'm going to try this mic again.
Let's go with still with you.
Yeah, that is strange.
Are you in a scuba suit?
How about
that's
red
fine.
leather,
You're
yellow
good there.
leather, blue leather? How's that?
And now there's a big old buzz in yours.
Really?
Like if I turn off that, now the buzz is back. I'm hearing it.
I'm not feeling buzzed at all.
Oh wait, is it you? Is it not the mic? Is it you? Is it your mouth?
I'm hanging around with you guys, a bunch of buzzkills.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
Hey now.
Now, before we get this break, tell us about the Alabama Gazette, Sky.
I'd love to. The Alabama Gazette, your hometown conservative newspaper. They're going to be celebrating their 24th anniversary next month. The big day is October 26th, and there will be a celebration at their beautiful downtown offices. The public is invited. I will be telling you more about that as it approaches. The Alabama Gazette, always published under the banner of God, family, and country. They have always focused on local river region news, but they serve Central Alabama proper, pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. That's the Alabama Gazette. A great value for your advertising dollar as well. They share your values, your principles, and the Alabama Gazette always the courage to print them every single issue. So please consider giving the Alabama Gazette your advertising business. It is surprisingly affordable and extremely effective. You'll find the Gazette at many, many fine business establishments throughout the river region. That number, 356-6700, the Alabama Gazette. Give them a call right now, 356-6700.
Appreciate it, Sky. More news and views in the afternoon when we come back. Coming up, we have Parker Snyder of 1819 News.
Right.
Apparently, a new state house has been approved. The new Elmore County Prison.
Is that not one and the same? I thought the state house was going to be the prison, isn't it?
They should have a
Don't.
Are you sure?
Don't. No, I don't need to hear
Just
fantasies.
checking.
Like, I got to go take a cold shower now.
They're building them at the same time.
Like, seriously, I can't stand up with ideas like that. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's fall sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge fall savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 158636-8, Equal Housing Lender.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food. Opening day, get it for $1 when you bring a non-perishable food item for the food bank. And check the fair's outside stage with nightly entertainment, plus all the free shows daily. Save time. Skip the line, buy in advance from the fair website or the free fair app in your app store. 17 and under must be accompanied by a parent or guardian, 21 years of age or older.
It's the best 10 days of fall.
Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
What you can take to the bank is watching people's behavior. What do they get out their wallet for and put dollar bills down on the table? That is extremely reliable.
Hastings Reed runs Oakley Custom Woodworks here in Mobile. He's a former Fortune 500 consultant from Britain, now making beautiful, doors, windows, and shutters. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Sky Mosley and Eddie Bader here in the house with me. And get a load of this story, gentlemen.
I want to be a tree.
Biden Forest Service hands out over $100 million to advance, of all things, folks, tree equity.
Yes.
What
Has that been a problem?
in the world is tree equity?
I give up.
It's another scam that they're taking federal dollars, which, by the way, are mine and your money, out of our pockets.
What, is it like the river birches are jealous of the redwoods? They shouldn't be that tall? Like, what are we getting at? This is some Fern Gully fruity thing going on? What is tree equity? Maybe I speak too fast. Let's actually read the story.
Have the trees been complaining?
Well, apparently the U.S. Forest Service is allocating more than $100 million for grants meant to achieve quote-unquote tree equity. The Forest Service announced on September the 14th that it allocated over $1 billion towards expanding access to trees, including 17 grant proposals that promote tree equity with a total value of a little over $100 million. Tree equity is a term first coined by American Forest, a conservation nonprofit that blames the lack of trees in minority neighborhoods on redlining other discriminatory practices.
Wow.
The Forest Service argues on its website that planting trees will reduce crime and improve health outcomes.
Okay.
Wait, so if I'm trying to join a gang,
Yeah.
now it's going to be more, instead of going to like do something that compromises me, that shows you're willing to sacrifice a lot. Instead, you don't have to kill anybody. You don't have to steal from it. Just go plant a tree, man. You're in the group.
Captain Planet would be so pleased.
Freaking break. Planting trees will reduce crime? Really? I like trees. Let's plant more trees. But tree equity is not a real thing.
No.
You just made it up.
They just made it up, but guaranteed it's going to get some funding now. So again, we're on the wrong side of this, Joe. We got to come up with some scam action that we can get in on, because they're just giving our money away.
And also, so they go on. They say, while trees cover nearly half of Atlanta, the most coverage in the nation, according to Trees Atlanta, the Forest Service approved a grant to the city for $10 million to address issues related to tree equity and develop a sustainable, diverse, nature-based workforce. Nature-based? What in? Are we going to teach raccoons how to work or something?
Scam. It's another scam.
I want my trees.
We're going to have a sustainable, diverse, nature-based workforce with fairies and nymphs and...
They don't... Fairies and nymphs work for free, by the way. You don't have to pay them.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
I don't see where the money's
It's going to run on rainbows and
lollipops.
Yeah, it's all going to be great.
Well, but also, like in a city, isn't it, unless the tree's there, it's pretty daggum expensive to install trees, right? Like full-grown trees.
Whenever you're kind of doing power line maintenance and all that, there's maintenance on that all the time. Plus, I've been to Atlanta 1,000 times. I never thought, you know what? They need another tree here. They're treeless. There's trees everywhere in Atlanta.
Peachtree Avenue.
And when there can't be a tree, it's because there's a highway in the way.
Well, here, let's go to Parker Snyder of 1819 News. Hey, Parker, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good. Just wishing some more trees were over here in downtown Birmingham.
Are you suffering from tree equity?
That is the strangest thing I've heard in a little while. I'm still, I'm like Googling what you're talking about right now as I'm hearing this.
Yeah, there is unequal outcome in terms of trees. And, like, given where you are in Birmingham, I don't know where exactly. If you look around, look outside the window, where the heck are they going to put trees?
Into the concrete.
Right. And I'd imagine maybe that's why you got a $100 million price tag. Daggone.
Maybe.
Anyway, well, another big, shocking price tag was... the final kind of number on what the new Elmore County prison is going to cost.
Yeah.
So let's just give you the floor, Parker. What is the price tag here?
So before I tell you the exact new number, it was estimated originally to be $623 million, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for any building, any set of buildings. But, it's a prison, and, we're under federal investigation, so, we need to spend that much money, perhaps. What they've decided now is that it's actually going to cost $1.08 billion for one prison.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, $1.08 billion for one prison. Their total prison budget for two prisons was $1.2 billion. So this next prison is going to be pretty small, it seems like.
Wow. Man.
It's not good news.
And so how are lawmakers and the folks who voted for this kind of reacting?
So, this only was approved yesterday by the Alabama Corrections Institution Finance Authority. So that's the group that's kind of doing the oversight on this. And the legislature, they're not in session, so they're not voting on it right now. But what Ivy is saying is that she's like, yes, inflation is affecting everything. My favorite excuse.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to keep pushing through. And she threw some other governors under the bus. Said, no one else has done this. And if it would have been easy, they would have done it. And so she's going to be the big prison governor in that way. I think just looking at these numbers is hard though, because we're required to have this new prison basically, and so the people who are building this prison are going to know that, and so if I'm a private enterprise, I don't go cheap on the materials, and I don't and so anyway, it's not exactly surprising, but it is frustrating for our state and for our bank.
And I'm looking from this quote from the Alabama Appleseed Center for Law and Justice, quote, the most expensive prison ever built in the United States. That's just insane.
Well, let's be honest. So, it was $623 when they started. It's at $1 billion now. That price is going to keep going up. This is how they do you. This is how they screw
Yeah, it's not like they're done.
We're too far along to stop now.
It's not like it's been built and now that was how much it costs, boys. No, this is still another projection.
Right. Hence the water park we have, folks. Hence every project these morons fund. And until we put some oversight on them, this is what we can expect. It's only going to get worse. Mm-hmm. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, and that quote you had, Joey, the end of that was $270,000 per bed, which is just, to me, that's
buy
like...
a house.
Oh, gosh.
Just buy them a house.
It's a Taj Mahal of
prison. Let's just buy them all a house, a nice 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot house.
Well, and my dad he's a civil engineer, so he helped build some of these max security prisons. He knows all about these sort of cost overruns.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he made a lot of money being an expert witness in a lot of the lawsuits.
It's the cost overruns.
And so I understand, like, whether it's a prison or a hospital, you're doing extra than a normal house or, say, office building. There's a lot of, piping and wires and special stuff, especially for this state-of-the-art new prison. But it shouldn't be the lion's share of what we already, because the state allocated 1.3 to the point you just made earlier, Parker, and we're pretty much going to run right through it, and the prison's not even built.
Right.
Yep.
But that's by design.
You think it's by design?
It's by design. Look at every project these people put in front of us. They come in lowballing, and we all go, man, that's expensive, but they sure say we need it, so we really got to believe in them. Then they come back with a double. And we're like, well, that's not fair. You said it was only going to cost this. Yeah, well, we got these new inflation prices, and we're already so far along, we can't just stop. Then they'll come back again right at the end. Hey, we don't have the money for all the pretty paint and the bushes. We need a little bit more money.
Trees. Gotta have the
It's
trees.
a scam, man.
Parker, I guess
sorry, Parker.
It's hard to follow a cranky Eddie, but gum.
Well, it's the truth.
It is the truth. Before you hopped on, Parker, Eddie said, I thought the new State House was actually this new prison. Like,
why not?
What do you see the bill for that? Stand by.
And that has just been approved, right? There's a new State House in the works.
Yes, they approved the RSA is going to start designing this State House, and so they're going to just start doing it. And the plan there is a 25-year lease, which our state, our government can buy the building at any point, and they'll own it at the end. So that's that's nice. I guess we get to own it at the end of our lease, but that does allow us not to have to go into debt to make the State House. That's good because we're going into debt major to get these prisons.
Yeah, and as much as I hate it when they spend money on themselves, I've been down to that building, and I'm like, yeah, this explains the outcome.
That's the body of their work represents the place they get to work out of. You keep putting out crap, you stay in the crap.
Well, don't be bringing up like chicken and the egg philosophical conundrums right here at 12:40 in the afternoon on Talk Radio. That's not fair, sir.
Just saying.
I'm tired of your riddles.
Just saying.
The one thing I will say about the State House situation is there's a point that Senator Gavon has made that you just really can't get access to the meetings if you're a public watcher, and unless you like really know like what rooms are, what time to get there, and if they stay true to their word that they want to make sure the public has more access to the legislative process, then that will be a very valuable aspect of this. But I think we're gonna have to watch the plans, make sure these are big conference rooms, have clear signage and all that stuff, because right now it is just the lobbyists that know when to go, where to go. There's no like sign really. You have to get on the email list, and it's not really a easy access thing for the public.
Now, shifting gears here, I talked at length with Jeff Poore about how something like this Politico piece on Katie Britt comes about. But I kind of want your reaction. I'm sure you're just as surprised as I am to see this nationally. And I guess the story today is, I'm a long way from that. That's a quote from Senator Britt downplaying presidential aspirations. Well, that's convenient. Somebody gets to suggest you want to be president. You go, no. I'm serving the people. It's all very clever and well done. But what do you make of this, having read that piece and seeing the reaction to it?
Yeah, I mean, the reaction to it in the circles that I've seen have been, surprised. And to Senator Britt's credit, she also was like, no, I'm not planning on running right now. I haven't talked to my family about that or anything. And remember, she's only been there since 2022, I believe. Right. So she's new at this. She's still learning. I don't doubt that people want her to be president. I mean, she has a lot of the qualities that would make egregious. Not egregious, but gregarious. Yeah, gregarious. She's quite gregarious, and she's very personable. And if you want to be it's the post-Trump word that Politico had for this in their title. It was Katie Britt could be the post-Trump leader of the GOP, and that's interesting because she hasn't endorsed Trump yet, and so in some ways she is distinguished a little bit from Trump compared to other senators and other people who might want to run. And she is really young. She's I think she's not. Is she even 40 yet? She might be right at 40.
She's 41.
41. So she's got a long time that she'll probably be in the Senate if she takes her old boss's advice. And at some point, she could certainly run for president. And I think by that point, we'll finally have a new generation of leaders. But whether or not she's not running anytime soon, I don't think that's really a doubt. It won't be 2024. It won't be 2028. It probably won't even be 2032.
Right, and I thought the framing of it of like post-Trump or pitting her against Senator Tuberville's approach, I think all that stuff that wouldn't have been my framing of it. I just don't think it's accurate of the actual dynamics. I think it's just a different style.
DC life. Yeah, that's the desire of the DC insiders that are hoping somehow this anti-Trump person is winning in Alabama. That's a sign for a Trump-free future. It's just like that dream that a lot of people have.
Well, and I share the idea of, hey, it would be nice if folks who disagree could sit down and have intelligent, robust conversations about important issues to millions of people in this country and around the globe. But they act like Trump's the first one who started doing name-calling and insulting and emotional blackmail and and defamation. I think, I didn't write it, but David Pecker, at the not National Review, that's kind of a joke now, the Inquirer, it looks, I don't know, Ted Cruz's father might have helped kill Jack Kennedy. I'm just saying, folks. So Trump did it over the top, but I'm remembering back to all sorts of conversations I was younger, say, during the Bush years. Insults were already flying, especially if you were one of those folks who kind of had your head screwed on straight after 9/11 and said, hey, let's not build a huge new government department. Let's not go to these wars. Oh, shut up, traitor.
Right.
I mean, I remember the Dixie Chicks getting just ripped a new one.
That, yeah.
So I don't know. What is it with these folks inside D.C. where all the sins of our political system began and end with Trump? It just seems absurd to me.
It is absurd. I mean, it gets clicks, and it gets them hopeful that. I mean, I listen to a lot of liberal podcasts and stuff just to kind of keep an eye on what they're thinking, and they absolutely, just as as we know, they absolutely hate Trump and they think he's evil, and so any hope that the Republicans might not be Trump centered and Trump-like for the rest of their lives they're grasping for it.
Right, maybe just wishful thinking. Well, I always appreciate your time, Parker. If folks want to check out what you're thinking about, writing about, how can they do so?
Yeah, I appreciate it. You can visit our website at 1819news.com. We've got all the news from around the state.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
See you, Parker.
Again, Parker Snyder of 1819 News.
While we were talking to Parker, Katie was there live at the microphone there on Fox. But one of the side pictures was the border with all the razor wire.
Yeah.
And I literally just watched Border Patrol cut the razor wire and start helping people across. I literally just watched that on my screen.
Wow.
That's kind of the anti
right there.
Yeah, there it is. Ted Cruz speaking now, and they're cutting it.
They're cutting it. In a few minutes, this was the shot I saw earlier. A few minutes later, you see them bringing them through.
They're border greeters. Welcome to the United States.
What are we doing?
Can I take your order, please?
That's absolutely nuts. Well, here, I'll try to find that. It's going on live now. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if this... Oh, it's the place that Red Top keeps suggesting, NTD News.
Okay.
And let me back it up to our senator here.
There she is. There's her beautiful smiling face.
When was it, Eddie?
Just a few minutes ago. I'm watching literally while you guys were talking.
All right, we're going to have to scrub through this and find it. Lindsey Graham speaking. I'll jump in right here with Lindsey, folks. Let's watch.
Complaining, you're wrong. This is the mayor of New York. September the 10th, just a few days ago. New York City will experience a financial tsunami. The migrant crisis will destroy New York City. Now here's the Biden answer. Leave them all in Texas. They have a remain in Texas policy. Well, Texas ain't going to accept that, I don't think. The National Guard's being called out in Massachusetts and New York. Why? Because Texas is not going to bear this burden by themselves. To our two senators from Texas, we've got your back. Your governor's doing the right thing.
Okay, I got to pause it there because it's one thing for, say, Senator Britt to talk tough on the border. She just got there.
Right.
So I tend to think she means it. And maybe Lindsey means it too. But Lindsey, you were there in that Congress when Trump's first elected.
Thank you.
You had Republicans in both houses, in both chambers. Why did you fight with them over this? Why now are we doing it? And this is exactly what I mean, folks. Immigration in particular, about manage a problem. Yes. Don't ever get close to solving it.
If they really wanted to stop that, and I'll put it on the governor of Texas, if he really wanted to stop that, he could.
Yeah.
In fact, he got called out not too long ago in public about it, and he told the reporter, you don't know all the details. So that tells me, you're right, I don't know all the details, but it tells me you as a governor have a border state and you are willing to let us be invaded because of your political wants. It's got nothing for him no more.
How about this? Let's hit a break and we'll be right back, folks. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for, and I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Look for a cooler day today by about 10 degrees with a high temperature in the lower 80s. Nice little easterly breeze. I think clouds will dominate most of the time. There could be some isolated showers here and there, maybe a thunderstorm, but not many to go around. Tonight's low down to about 68. Tomorrow, comfortable, high 84, should be dry, uneventful. We're back to the upper 80s on Friday and near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny with tolerable humidity and comfortable nights. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
Okay, what was that?
I'm not sure. Electricity. It can be a little scary. Fortunately, the folks at Crosby Electric are experts, providing complete electrical services and keeping River Region homes and businesses safe since 1967.
I hate lightning.
Crosby Electric offers whole house surge protection to protect you and your possessions.
What I hate is being without electricity.
You never have to be. Crosby is an authorized generator dealer, sales, installation, and service.
Okay, our yard is dark.
Crosby does landscaping lighting for beauty and safety, as well as security lighting for all of your property.
Am I crazy, or did that light just flicker?
I'd say both.
And Crosby offers unique technology that pinpoints electrical problems even inside your walls.
Good night, honey.
Good night.
Sleep well tonight with no electrical worries. Visit crosbyelectric.com or call 272-2085. That's 272-2085.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hunting season is here. It's time for you to get on over to Prattville Farm Center. Here's Randy to tell you all that he's got on the shelf for you to buy.
We got some good deals. We have seed mixes from WMS, Pennington, Kelly Seed. We have every kind of seed you could possibly want. So y'all come on down here and we'll get them green fields planted. By the way, if you need sprayer parts for your equipment, we got that too. Come on down. 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville, 365-5400, 365-5400.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back, folks, to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, this is pretty much live. We're a few minute or two behind, but this is Senator Britt speaking. It's a joint press conference. Ted Cruz just got done. Let's listen in to Senator Katie Britt.
That's exactly right. Senator Graham, thank you for putting this together. Thank you for your leadership. One of the things that you touched on at the very beginning is that Democrats say we have no solutions. I guarantee you, if you take a look at this group up here, we have put forth solution after solution after solution. I mean, you look at H.R. 2 and what you're trying to move here in the Senate. You look at the work you've done. Guys, I would have never seen the border firsthand if this woman didn't know that I needed to see it immediately upon entering the United States Senate. I followed up with a trip with John Cornyn because they care. These people down there, Senator Blackburn would talk to them. She knew them. We walked through and we got to hear women tell us their story. And their stories are brutalizing. And to Senator Cruz's point, if you're not telling it, that's on you. Because when a woman sits there and she tells you not just about being raped, but how many times a day she's raped, when she tells you about having to lay in that bed while they come in and out and in and out, it's disgusting and it's despicable. Folks, you look at the number of people that have died at the border because Joe Biden has made it more and more enticing to come here. Make no mistake, this is a result of failed policies. We could fix this. We can't throw money at this and fix it. We have to actually change the policies. I looked in the eyes of CBP agents who said we're exhausted. We're not only having to be paper pushers, we're also trying to do what we took an oath of office to do, and that is protect this border. But when they tell you about finding small children who have drowned in that river or pulling a lifeless body of a woman who is pregnant with twins, it changes the way you think about what's happening. Drug cartels, guys, they have their tentacles all over this country. We need you to start telling that story. To Senator Cruz's point, they will tell you exactly how much they paid to get here. Then they'll tell you where they're going, what their job's going to be, and how much more they owe. Got it? And guess what? Just the other day in Alabama, a gentleman told me, if you will come back here with me in this neighborhood right behind you, you will see migrants who are here illegally, and they will tell you about the drug cartels coming around every other week to collect. Yep. Guys, that's not the American dream. That's an American nightmare. We know what policies work. President Trump had secured the border. We know what to do. We just have to have a leader who has the courage to do it. And I am so sick of Joe Biden lecturing us about the soul of America. Let me tell you, he needs to have the heart to actually listen to people. He needs to have the compassion to actually hear those stories, the willingness to work with people. And Joe Biden needs the courage to take decisive action. We are standing here ready to do this, and what he put forth in that supplemental is an absolute joke. It will only facilitate this crisis more and more every day. By the end of his tenure, we will have over 10 million people here, which would make that, by the way, if you put everybody in one place, the 11th largest state in the United States of America. Folks, this is out of control. We've got to do something. We would not allow this to happen in a third world country. We certainly should not allow it to happen in the United States of America.
Thank you. Very much
to
so.
quote Jack Campbell, well, damn.
Yeah.
Amazing job, Senator.
Very good.
Wow. Really well done.
Told you she's captivating.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that was better than anything I saw on the campaign trail.
Oh, no doubt.
That was better than any of these other senators.
Yeah.
Good job, Senator. Great job. Here, we got to hit our top of the hour break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And over there at River Region Contracting, the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region, they can help you whether you've got a metal or asphalt roof.
That's
and
right.
both of those should be inspected every 3 to 5 years.
At least.
Basic maintenance. What can go wrong with a metal roof? Because you've got one of those, right?
Well, a lot of times your metal roof is stuck to your house or attached to your house by these screws, and they have grommets in them. And mine were probably done 15 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. They've already come up with a better screw, and what happens, those grommets, it's just a water seal little rubber piece. They dry and crack over time. It happens. They told me it would last a lifetime when I originally got the roof, but after talking with the River Region, they said, let us check it out, Eddie. Sure enough, man, they replaced probably 50 to 80% of my screws, and most of them had that broken grommet. And the new screws that they have in nowadays, it sounds funny, but those grommets are covered up. They last a lot longer. It's just a much better product. But the best thing, Joey, what they did, I didn't find any screws in my yard to have flat tires with when they were done. They picked up, they cleaned up. I had no trouble there.
Well, you heard it, folks. You can hear if Eddie feels like he's been done wrong or somebody. Eddie lets you know. Yeah. But what's great about this guy too is when somebody does a good job, he's happy to share it with the world.
Dude, I send anybody that ever asks me about a roof, I tell them about these folks, and then I use them personally. Even on my new house, I brought them out. Right. This is the group that I use.
So y'all check out River Region Contracting today, the premier roofing contractor here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Give them a call at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and the team there that Joey and Eddie and Sky from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Appreciate that passion, Eddie. I think you were taken after our senator there.
It's contagious.
Very captivating.
We'll be back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Democratic U.S. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey has been ordered released on a $100,000 bond after pleading not guilty to federal charges in a case accusing him of pocketing bribes of cash and gold bars. Lawyers for Menendez and his wife pleaded the not guilty pleas. In consumer news, Hyundai and Kia recalling nearly 3.4 million vehicles in the U.S., telling owners to park them outside due to the risk of engine compartment fires. The recalls cover multiple models from the 2010 through 2019 model years, including Hyundai's Santa Fe SUV and Kia's Sorento SUV. The Dow is down 279.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, here's today's top stories. Many River Region early risers saw a bright fireball in the sky early yesterday morning. The meteor was so bright it was recorded all the way into Texas. The U.S. Supreme Court denied Alabama's request for emergency relief in the state's redistricting case Tuesday. The justices rejected the state's plea to retain lines drawn by the Alabama legislature. The new districts could help Democrats trying to flip control of the House of Representatives. The newly restored Court Square fountain and statue are back on display. The historic landmark in downtown Montgomery has stood in the square since 1885. The return comes 3 months after it was removed and taken to Alexander City to be cleaned, repainted, and restored. From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Kickback Ranch Event Center wants you to join us October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for our annual Frontier Days and Fall Festival. Enjoy live foraging demonstrations and the way life used to be. Face painting small animals, games, bounce houses, water activities for the kids. Vendors, food trucks, boot walk for cancer, give blood with Life South, and enjoy live music featuring bluegrass with the Southern Gentlemen. The Kickback Ranch annual Frontier Days, October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is $5. Call 286-4140 or go to kickbackranch.net. Be there.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, there have been a lot of comments in that first hour of the live stream. The Romex Angler's at it again.
Oh, boy.
Here's one. He says, that's a very nice rendition behind you, Joey. Either that's an old picture or you owe the artist dinner. That's a slimmer version than the current Joey. Well, that's accurate. I think that's...
Wait a minute.
Is that
should be
yoga?
Fat, that should be Fat Joey.
Is that yoga Joey?
Yeah, that's what it was. That was Yoga
Yeah,
Joey.
I was like $165, $170 there.
That was Yoga Joey.
And I got tired of being really skinny.
Yep.
And so now I'm, 215? So yeah, I'm clearly a lot bigger. And a lot of that's fat, and I also built some muscle too.
You got, that trunk you got.
I'm kind of going the opposite way now. I'm not going as hard on the weights, getting back into the stretching.
More into the eating?
Yeah, and the eating. Oh, don't get me started on that.
Weight, to build the muscle.
That was my plan. I started that when I was about 12. And,
No, do you really?
Started bulking up and never really got off that.
It's an old Norm joke. He's like, well, I'm doing it for a role, like a movie role. I'm getting fat for a role. They're like, which role? Well, whatever one they offer.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate those kind words, Romex Angler. Really do. Let's see. Jenny says, so proud to see Katie Britt on fire, not mincing words. Well, damn. Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's right.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Here is T-Spear's been very patient. Hey, T-Spear.
Hey, T-Spear.
Hello, good afternoon. First of all, my heart has been breaking for all of y'all on Jack Campbell, which is why it's been difficult to talk. But I did want to let you know how much he impacted all of us. Everyone needs to understand this man was a giant in so much of his knowledge and his personality in this state. And he will never be replaced. Got that out without crying. Anyway, I have several things here. The first thing I want to discuss is the trees in all the poverty areas.
Okay. Tree equity.
Yeah, tree equity. That would be nothing but a toilet, or they'll be used as a not so subtle reminder of what trees used to be used for. People need to remember that. Then I'm going to go down to the border before I address Katie Britt. If I remember correctly, isn't cutting wire and damaging those fences, isn't that considered damaging government property? And therefore, couldn't you go to jail for that?
I would think so, but when you see the Border Patrol actually doing the cutting.
And Border Patrol is claiming that Texas did something illegal. That's how messed up this is, T-Spear.
I got news for you. The person there, standing there with wire cutters, and the person standing there with the hammer or a drill or a saw, they're the ones ultimately responsible. And if your boss tells you to do something illegal, you have the right to look at that boss and tell them what they can do with that implement. So anyway, that's my opinion on that. Then let's go to Katie Britt. Is she, from up until her comments just a moment ago, for all intents and purposes, she appeared to be nothing but another Shelby-controlled puppet who has reminded us all of Martha Ruby. There's no way in hell I would ever vote for her for president, because she does not have the strength that it would take to stand up to those who wish to destroy everything and be president. No, not going to happen. Now, after hearing her speech regarding the border, she may have finally understood why she was possibly put in office in the first place. But is she just now understanding what's going on? Why is she just now speaking up against it? Why have we not been hearing from her for the past 2 years in the same manner that we have heard the same courage coming out of Tommy Tuberville fighting what's going on in Washington? She said that that's what she was going to do, and up until now, she's been pretty damn quiet.
Well, she's, I think, mostly been doing the work of the job behind the scenes. But we've played a lot of the committee hearings and past press conferences. Nothing compared to what that press conference just now. That was a straight-up passion right there. That was pretty impressive.
That has been the first thing that I have heard that really indicates to me that she really does give a damn about what she's doing.
Now, when you say like a Shelby copycat, I had you in mind when I asked Jeff Poore this. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, why the bad taste in your mouth when it comes to Senator Britt? I'm trying to think out through the origins of this in your own mind, T-Spear.
She's been a Shelby copycat. She speaks a big game, and then she does essentially very damn little, other than bringing money to her district. Well, I'm sorry. Money to your district does not take care of this nation's problem. And when you've been put into federal office, you're supposed to take care of this nation's problems, not just your district.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, and we'll see. Like, I keep giving her a chance because she just got up there. And I'm not surprised that we just saw that performance. I'm more surprised, like, where's that been?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it, though.
To your point,
That's what she said she was going to do when we were all, that was our choice. That's what she said she was going to do. Why is she just now getting her feet under her? Oh, no. You go to Washington, and you better be standing on your own 2 feet right then, not waiting on somebody else or some disaster like this to decide to get busy.
Well, I'll just say, T-Spear, right now, when I look at both of our senators, Tuberville and Britt, I'm quite happy at the moment. That could change, obviously. But especially Tuberville's stand and him fighting against more fun of Ukraine. I believe I was looking for. I don't think Senator Britt voted for it.
Good.
28 Republicans voted with Democrats to advance this CR in the Senate, and she did not vote for more Ukraine funding, which is a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Would you prefer her over Mo Brooks at this point?
I don't know, because in full disclosure, in the primary, I voted for Mo.
Mo's a numbers
And
guy.
here's
That's
the
what
weird
got me.
thing, though, is like I voted for Mo, but Mo did everything to make me like not want to. He's just something. Likability does go a long way.
Sure.
And and in the room, I was like, Mo, just be quiet. I'm just like, you're going to lose my vote if you don't keep going. You know, I don't know. I liked his ideals better, I think, but his approach just didn't work.
I agree. But anyway, she better take this spark that she finally has acquired, and she better fan it into a firestorm and get things and get her act in gear, because otherwise she'll be lost. And we cannot afford to lose a Republican senator for this state. We have got to have people who stand up for this state. Are you hearing that, Kay Ivey? Are you hearing that, Mike Rogers and the rest of you? Evidently not.
Well, I appreciate the call,
Take
Teasman.
it and fan it into a forest fire.
Well, appreciate you as always.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, hon.
272-9228. And tonight is the big debate on Fox Business, and saying the U.S. economy takes center stage at the second debate.
It's a good topic.
Wait, how do we feel about I've always liked Dana Perino in the sense that of all the former Bush people, I like Dana Perino. She's more establishment for my liking, but how do we feel about Stuart Varney with that posh British accent hosting an American presidential debate? Did we fight Yorktown for nothing?
I don't think this is a presidential debate. This is just a show that they're having.
Eddie, you're so skeptical.
Who's going to be there?
All the big players except
Ron DeSantis.
And who else?
The league leader and hit stolen bases and all.
Rob DeSanctimonious. Chris Christie, his rotundity will be there.
So the last losers that were there last time, right?
Yeah.
So the guy that's leading in the polls by double digits.
Trump? No, he's going to talk to the Detroit auto workers tonight.
Right.
Oh, that'll be good.
Right. But, I mean, I got a clip here. I could pull it up where Ronnie D is all like, Trump, he owes the American people to debate.
Of course he is. He's down here. I'm swinging way up, man. I'm trying to get up there where you are, so I got to bring you down to me.
Well, here, let's give Ron DeSantis his due, because if they can break in, that's the trick. But as I talked about with Judge Knapp yesterday, the more they go after him legally, and I think Trump is in very real legal trouble.
You see.
The more his poll numbers rise, because so many Americans see through this crap. In particular, the judge ruling from New York yesterday. Yeah.
Come on.
Where he overvalued his properties. They valued Mar-a-Lago at $18 million. The judge said that's the proper amount. Okay, you look, Don Jr. pointed out that there are homes on like a quarter of an acre right next to Mar-a-Lago worth $40 million. Right. Mar-a-Lago's 20 acres.
Right.
It's this massive property. It's still up to standards with all the other houses around
it. Not to insult the judge, but what does that judge know about real estate values? Not a damn thing. Guaranteed.
And so they're calling for a $250 million fine.
Sure, they want to break him.
And they're trying to say he is banned, the Trump organization is banned from doing business in New York.
That would be devastating to Trump.
I just
in real time.
So again,
these folks come after you, man.
I know it's going to happen. I know all this is going to flip around. But I don't want us to ever forget these people's names that are doing this, because they are the enemy. So when it does flip around, I don't care what people say. Vengeance is mine.
Now,
I'm coming.
Let's go to give Rob DeSantis. Let's give Ron DeSantis his due here. This is Ron last night, I believe, with Laura Ingraham.
Well, if you were on stage with President Trump, if he was at the debate, how would you go at him? Because, I understand what you're saying about Fauci. I mean, I was one of the biggest Fauci detractors in the spring. I think before, when you were still had the state shut down in Florida, I was hitting Fauci every day. I agree with your assessment on that. But it hasn't bridged that gap for you on the national polls or even in the state polls as maybe powerful as it is. So Donald Trump standing next to you on that stage, imagine he was. How would you go at him in order to kind of, again, shrink that gap from 2 to 1?
Well, I think it's interesting, and he's not willing to stand on that stage. I think he owes it to all the voters to show up, defend his record, articulate what he would do going forward, what he might do differently, and he's not willing to do that.
Well,
and I think the voters have a right to hear from all the candidates. Well, he's not been willing to step up and do it. Well, he should step up to the plate, and then we'll do it. I mean, I think we can talk about a lot of the things
I'm going to pause it there. I never noticed this till just this moment. DeSantis sounds like he's whining a lot of the time.
Nasally.
Yeah.
It does come off a bit.
But all they need to get DeSantis back on top is a hurricane. Florida has fallen a little bit out of love with DeSantis.
Wait a minute.
Bring another hurricane in, because look how well he handled the last one. Yeah. He can handle crises.
Don't start
like
talking about
business.
controlling the weather again. We don't need to go down that road.
I'm just sending the hint out for them to flip the switch.
Couldn't hurt.
Anyway, let's continue on with Ronnie D here.
He's running in 2024 on a lot of the same promises he ran on in 2016 and didn't deliver on. He said he was going to drain the swamp. They didn't drain the swamp at all. He still defends hiring Christopher Wray. He didn't fire Wray. He didn't fire Fauci. He said Mexico was going to pay for the border wall. That didn't happen. They started the wall, but we've got a lot more to be able to do to finish the wall. He said he was going to eliminate the national debt. They added almost $8 trillion to the debt in 4 years. And then remember, he promised to appoint a special counsel for Hillary Clinton. Then after the election, 2 weeks later, he's like, oh, no, forget about it. That's what you say before the election. It's not what you say after. So now he's saying he's going to do one for Biden, but he had promised to do that for in 2016. So I think it's about, you got to deliver on these things. If we do the same thing and we don't deliver on 100%, we're not going to turn the country around. Now's the time to deliver results. You know, we're going to be at Reagan's library. He said it was a time for choosing. It was our rendezvous with destiny. I think this election is for our generation, because we're in danger of leaving to our kids and grandkids in America that's less free and less prosperous than the one we inherited.
I'm sorry, but quoting the great, and he was, Ronald Reagan, just doesn't cut it today in 2023.
No, not really. It's kind of been played.
And in fact, like, I love, because so much when people quote a Reagan, or you saw, I think, Buttigieg trying to do this with Obama, like trying to be, I'm going to be the gay Obama, essentially. But his speaking style, how he was, you know, all these sorts of things. Yeah, like, Obama's not gay, by the way. All you folks out there thinking that. You folks with your big mic conspiracy. It's just, and the weather change. Like, what is wrong? I'm surrounded by.
Interview, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it was obviously that guy had an axe to grind. You know what? I figured out the motivation.
Oh, did you?
Larry Sinclair's motivation.
Tell me.
He is actually looking into becoming, with all these new books in the libraries around the nation, he's looking to become a children's author.
Probably going to be pretty successful.
New York Times best-selling children's author Larry Sinclair. Hey, did you know he met Barack Obama before he was famous?
I was going to say, is that the story he's going to write about? Because
no, but here's the deal. When Buttigieg tried to copy Obama, you ain't Obama, man, number one, and you just kind of adopting his speaking style or his mannerisms. It's a caricature of Obama.
Yeah.
In the same way, DeSantis has some of the Trump stuff going on where he does his hands like this.
That's because he's short and he wanted to make sure the camera people are
Bing,
looking down.
bang, boom, bing, boom, boom.
He's vertically challenged. You can understand that.
But Reagan in particular, all these folks try to do a Ronald Reagan. Romney did it. Mike Pence does it. All these folks want to do a Reagan.
Anymore, so he went out as a hero, right?
But the best Reagan isn't like just all the high points. Of course, there are the amazing speeches, like the one in Berlin, or the beaches in Normandy. There's so much that Reagan did that was remarkable.
Right.
But my favorite Reagan stuff to rewatch is those Johnny Carson interviews he did a long time ago.
They were really good.
Because it's not
of California.
And it's not the bumper stickers. It's not the caricature of Reagan. It's just Reagan being Reagan.
Yeah, he was so personable. The great communicator.
Right. And
that was his element, man.
And so just picking a few things and phrases from that guy, no, that's not going to cut it. You have to be your own person, come up with your own communication style. So it's driving me nuts watching some of these people. Now, I will say, I'm not going to vote for this guy. But the guy who surprised me last debate was Chris Christie. And that, I mean, he got booed, all this stuff. But Christie seemed pretty confident and like, this is what I believe, and I'm putting it out there.
He already got paid. He's got nothing to lose.
No, but he didn't come across like he was trying to copy anybody's my point. He came across, there's Chris Christie.
They said, hey, here's $1 million. I need you to be a original loser. Now go get him, Tiger.
So, and then we're going to, of course, have Nikki Haley on the stage, Mike Pence, Tim Scott. Vivek Ramaswamy will be up there.
They are really, I got to be honest, they are poo-pooing Ramaswamy something bad here. They're saying that he is...
Who's they? The corporate media?
Corporate media.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which tells me he's getting a message across, and they don't like hearing it. And to put Nikki Haley, really? What has Nikki Haley said enlightening in the last 2 weeks? Ever. We'll go with ever. Right, but they're putting her up there.
That Ramaswamy just wants to give Ukraine to Russia. He's just doing Putin's bidding.
He's a plant.
There you go.
He's a corporate
there you go.
elite New World Order plant.
Remember, there's
now or something.
Two enemies in the United States, the government and the media. Always keep that in mind.
Right. In order, too.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And there at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team are ready to help you they specialize in smartphone repairs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a cracked screen, they can help you, right, Eddie?
Oh, yeah. They helped me multiple times.
Sky, if you drop your phone in the pool, they can actually, the phone's not done.
Really?
Yeah. Like they can actually fix anything with that water damage.
Any type of water.
Eddie found,
no matter what
Oh, yeah. Get a load of this.
Okay, right.
Eddie found
An iPhone.
An iPhone in the middle of a pasture, right?
Yeah, cow pasture.
Had
They've
been there
missing 18, 19 months, almost 2 years, right at 2 years.
Only Eddie.
Of course.
And, of course, when we found it, we laughed. You wouldn't think it would ever turn on
Cow
again
dropped his
whatsoever.
phone,
Right.
apparently.
I took it to XI Repair. I believe it was Kia who fixed it. She plugged it in, and she kind of laughed, too. I told her, she's like, yeah, I don't know if it'll really work. She plugged it in. Within 2 minutes, she's like, oh, we got power. I think we can fix this. They fixed it, man. I think less than an hour, I was back over there. They had to clean the port. The screen was cracked, and one other little thing. That was it.
Incredible.
And, of course, they can sell you brand new smartphones or refurbished ones at incredible prices.
Mm-hmm.
They can work on desktop, laptop computers, even topping gaming consoles like a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
They can even do data recovery. So maybe you deleted a big project or maybe like a whole file of all these family photos or videos and you didn't.
gone.
Yeah, you really want those things back. Or it could be you're going through like a divorce and that soon-to-be ex-husband of yours tried to delete those text messages that you know he sent.
They can find them.
They can find it. They're at XI Repair. Just have your legal counsel contact them if you're in the middle of some sort of case like that. Or you can always just call them yourself, 777-1234. That's 777-1234. Or go to xirepair.com. And be sure to tell Jonathan Strange and the team there at XI Repair that, well, Joey and Eddie and Sky from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More news and views, well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Here's your Real Estate Minute. What's the secret behind selling your home fast and selling it for fair market value or above? There's no secret, but here's some suggestions that I've learned over 46 years in the real estate business. First, price it right. Based on other sales in your neighborhood, what should it sell for? Second, make sure all the little and big repairs you may have put off all get done before you put it on the market. Third, consider making some improvements to your house first, repainting inside and out, updating the flooring, professionally clean the whole house. Fourth, consider helping the buyer with a portion of closing costs and providing a warranty too. Number 5, don't try to do this on your own. Hire a professional realtor to provide facts, tips in selling, and guidance all the way through the transaction. Also work with the best realtors from the Goodson Group, fully trained, service-oriented folks. Call Bo Goodson 221-2883 or the Goodson Group 551-0225.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on Time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
It's time to call Southern Bells Cleaning to help you get your house in order. They've spent years earning the trust of families in the River region, and they believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. Callan and her crew at Southern Bells brings all their own supplies, arrive on time, and specialize in full-service residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning, River Region.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over here.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Now, folks have already started to cut this Matt Gaetz clip with Seinfeld music, like it's the opening segment of him doing a stand-up set.
Yep.
And, this is Matt Gaetz on the floor of the House of Representatives yesterday. Folks, the House and the Senate are still very far apart. With their solutions when it comes to the potential government shutdown. That's never enough of a shutdown that we would like.
Right.
But Matt Gaetz took to the floor, and, well, a lot of folks were paying attention to this latest approach by Mr. Gaetz. Let's listen in together.
In debt, facing $2 trillion annual deficits. We're in so much debt. We're driving up deficits so fast. We are devaluing American money so rapidly that in America today, you can't even bribe Democrat senators with cash alone. You need to bring gold bars to get the job done, just so that the bribes hold value. My friends,
good point.
That's good fantastic. Point. Yeah, I love Matt Gaetz' stand.
Yeah.
In the midst of all this, because again, the wise party, all this stuff, what we've been doing is not good.
Right. It's not been working.
We got to stop.
It's time to acknowledge it has not worked.
And what I find, it is usually the younger congressmen and women, senator or House of Representatives, that tend to get this. They're starting to see, like folks your age, even younger.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to see, like, you better get your Social Security.
I ain't getting it.
You ain't getting it?
I ain't getting it.
Wait, remind folks how old you are again.
53 tomorrow.
You don't think it's going to be there for you in 12 years, 15 years?
I think they are going to come out with a deal that says, hey, we're willing to give you X. And I think that's going to be about a quarter of what I'm actually probably entitled to. And I think after my generation, I think the money will still be taken. They'll call it something else. But I don't think my son's generation, your generation, no.
Yeah, well, this is where...
how could we afford it? Look, we're going broke now.
Well, let's continue on Matt Gaetz' speech from the floor.
I am extremely in favor of this rule because this rule moves us onto single subject spending bills. And this is the only way to liberate this House and this country from the scourge of governing by continuing resolution and omnibus legislation. It is an insult to our governing authority to have the Senate lash Ukraine funding to the reauthorization of the FAA, and by the way, every other thing in government. The American people know that in our state legislatures throughout this land, there is a maturity and a seriousness to set a top line, balanced budget number, and then appropriate to each of the agencies of government independently. And the fact that we don't do that is not a bug of the system, it's a feature of the system. And the one thing I agree with my Democrat colleagues on is that for the last 8 months, this House has been poorly led. And we own that, and we have to do something about it. And you know what? My Democrat colleagues will have an opportunity to do something about that too. And we will see if they bail out our failed speaker.
Matt Gaetz, he is willing to stand up alone in many cases. He's willing to fight that fight, and I appreciate that. I'm a populist through and through, I admit it these days. Of course, I also, have friends in the establishment, so to speak. Like, I think life's too short to just write people off. There are certain individual folks you should probably write off.
Yeah.
But in general, like, I still want to believe there are a lot of folks, say, working in the federal government or in Congress that actually sit down and go, okay, this is a smart, intelligent person. I think they actually mean what they say. The system just sucks that bad.
Right.
Where everybody's kind of got to play a particular game. And that's why I appreciate that's why I appreciate Gates actually sticking his neck out there. This is how you start to change things a bit. And one thing that I just am so disappointed in is there could be a brand new sort of coalition on some major issues between the crazy progressives and the crazy right-wingers. Mm-hmm. There actually is a lot of room for agreement, and it just won't go that far. They won't break bad too much with their party. I think the Republican crazies are, but for some reason the hardcore radical progressives, they talk a big game. They hate the corporate Democrats as much as we might hate the rhinos, but why not join forces with the crazies on the right to stop, say, this funding this ridiculous war?
Is it a matter of crossing sides? I just can't cross sides. It's just the border I can't do, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it might be, because lately the Democratic Party has been in lockstep when it comes to so many other issues. And another issue I would hope that progressives and libertarian-leaning Republicans would have actually gone for is stopping this mass surveillance system we have. In a second...
They're signing off, buddy.
In a second, I've got a James Clapper clip from CNN coming up. Here's the headline quote, though, Eddie. James Clapper, real concern for many of us that Trump will try to jail political enemies list. You're trying to put him in jail right now.
Right now, as we speak.
The thing you are literally doing right now, you're worried about him doing.
Payback? Is that what they're saying?
Huh.
Worried about payback?
That's literally what you're doing. You're putting your... Oh, my goodness. That's just absurd. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center. Let me calm down for a second. And they're at New Look Decorating. Brett Lanham and the entire team, from Jordan to Katie, maybe even see the owner, Brian Carr. They're all paint specialists in their own right. And, of course, Katie is the one to ask for if you're interested in wallpapers and fabrics, especially that high-end Tebow wallpaper. It's in high demand these days.
I see.
It very much is. But, of course, they can help you with paint or stain supplies. They are a Benjamin Moore shop here in Montgomery, 40-year local business. And they've lasted because, number one, the product. Benjamin Moore paint is just fantastic product. But number two, it's their service. It's those folks that are going to steer you in the right direction, whether you're needing tips and tricks or just a particular paint to do a job yourself, or maybe you're contracting out the job. You want to know, who should I hire for this particular thing?
Good idea, Joe.
New Look Decorating can help you with all of that. And they're not just, local in the sense that you're helping the local Montgomery economy when you shop at New Look Decorating. You're helping the larger Alabama economy, one of Benjamin Moore's largest plants, where they make all this amazing product right here in Alabama, Pell City, Alabama. So check them out today. You can always call New Look Decorating Center at 271-0007 or go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But I really suggest you go by their showroom.
Oh, definitely.
They're right where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway, 6237 Atlanta Highway here in Montgomery. Well, stop on by and be sure to tell them that you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views, after this.
Not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health.
Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and
wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the River region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Look for a cooler day today by about 10 degrees with a high temperature in the lower 80s. Nice little easterly breeze. I think clouds will dominate most of the time. There could be some isolated showers here and there, maybe a thunderstorm, but not many to go around. Tonight's low down to about 68. Tomorrow, comfortable, high 84, should be dry, uneventful. We're back to the upper 80s on Friday and near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny with tolerable humidity and comfortable nights. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
The premier place the River region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. This part of News and Views is brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and her team are ready to help you. Now, when it comes to termites, Eddie.
Yeah.
You've seen it, like the swarm in person.
Yep.
Stuff out of a horror movie.
It really is.
It's pretty awful, folks.
It's something that you think you would never see in your life, and it literally takes a couple minutes just to process.
Well, and say all of a sudden you realize the termites have already hit your property, they get into that framing, all that stuff. Right. How much, if that ever happened to one of your properties, where does your mind go in terms of dollar signs?
Oh, instantly I turn into panic because by the time, and it's honestly, without someone like Pest Pro, when you find termites as a home owner, it's usually you're in trouble.
Right.
There's usually money you are going to be spending.
Because homeowners insurance doesn't cover that,
A lot
right?
of them do not. And in fact, I don't know of one that does. And honestly, by the time you're above ground, so you're in your house, you don't see it. These things are subterranean and they come up through the floor. So somebody like Pest Pro Services out there quarterly, they're checking that out.
Exactly. And that, of course, they can take care of termites if that does happen to you. They can kill them off. But why not do prevention? That quarterly schedule can help, but they also have this Termidor HP2 injection unit. Mm-hmm. So I believe what they do is they kind of lay down bait for the termites. Right. And so when the termites hit that bait, they'll know. They'll come out, take care of them before you have any big expensive problem.
Right.
I think that's the best way to go about this, folks. So call up Ashley and her team today, whether it's termites or any other pest problem you might have. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 9990, or you can go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Now, one issue, it's one guy that I can't believe he's still in polite society. Well, I guess I should start to believe this.
Yeah.
But the guy who just straight up lied to Congress, I believe it was a Democratic senator, Ron Wyden, who asked James Clapper, does the NSA spy on the American people? And I believe Clapper did the whole rubbing his brow, like, no, Senator. No, not wittingly.
That was a lie.
What, you just built one of the most ingenious database collection systems known to man, but we didn't do it wittingly.
No, it just got lucky.
You were just improvising? I want to see when you'll actually plan something out. What in the world? And he lied to Congress straight up. These programs were real.
Then he must be in jail, like buried under the jail at this point or something, right?
Right. No, he's actually on CNN. So here's James Clapper, who is not looking good.
No, he does not.
He's not looking good at all.
He better not buy no bananas.
What did you say? Pinhead without the pins?
It looks like Pinhead without the pin, yeah.
Hellraiser's pretty good.
Oh.
I liked it. You watched those?
I watched them, but I didn't like to. I was trying to impress a girl.
Oh, you wouldn't watch it today?
No.
Does it actually scare you?
It's uncomfortable.
Those movies just kind of make me laugh. They're so over the top. There's some scary movies that actually scare me, but
Just
anyway.
Not scared, Joey, just uncomfortable.
I mean, James Clapper, I'm thinking Voldemort. I'm thinking Pinhead without the pins.
Man.
Yeah. I'm thinking a few ghastly characters. But I wonder if him and Joe Biden are related. But let's listen in. This is their critique of Trump. Apparently, Trump suggested that Mark Milley deserves execution. That's the way they've put this.
Wow.
But let's listen in to this conversation.
Director of National Intelligence, Director Clapper, Trump saying that he would execute, or that we should execute, the nation's top general. Have we become numb to all of this?
Well, yeah, I mean, since we have, this is...
Whoa. Like, what did you lose an interdimensional battle on DMT and lose your soul, James? Like, what was that sound? I gotta go back. Like, that's an amazing beginning to... Here, let's play these on the monitors. Let's listen in again.
The nation's top general. Have we become numb to all of this?
Well, yeah, I mean, since we have, this is shocking, stunning, despicable, egregious, etc., but not surprising. It's really reprehensible for that to have been said. Joe Milley served this country with long and with great distinction, 43 years. Like all of us, he took the oath, and it bears repeating. I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against
all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Tough to listen to somebody like that say that, huh?
It is. I swore fealty to the Constitution. Where was it? Where's that fealty when you unwittingly were spying on Americans and those systems are still in place? You've probably grown them since those days.
Well,
because it seems like the actual government ain't the folks we elect.
Well, he said he's protecting the Constitution, so certainly somewhere in the Constitution he's supposed to spy on citizens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what, I don't know where that's at.
Well, it says reasonable searches and seizures, so I think we're being, and we're just collecting them by, it's incidental collection. We're not, the FBI's not going back after the fact and searching through the spy databases in order to then go, well, we know that person committed a crime.
Yes, they are.
And then they do this thing called parallel construction.
Yeah.
They know it would be illegal for them when the judge asks them in a court case, hey, where'd you get this evidence?
Yeah, where's the evidence come from?
They know they can't go, oh, we went to our buddies at the NSA and they were spying on this guy incidentally. And no, what they do is, again, parallel construction. They create a fairy tale out of whole cloth, say they create a different narrative of how they found the evidence. But, we have fealty to the Constitution. When's the last time we've declared war for all these wars? Or were these just police actions starting with Korea?
Korea, yeah. Yep.
This idea, though, of where in the Constitution does it say we have a fourth branch of government that gets to, shoot Jack Kennedy in the head?
Well, not only that, let's just start. Well, he said he's there to protect the Constitution. You know as well as I do how many constitutional amendments that keep coming out just to screw things up. Is the nicest way I can put it.
Right. It's just absolutely infuriating seeing a guy like that on television.
Yeah.
And I believe what Trump was referring to was, the story how Milley was calling his Chinese counterpart.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, I'm not going to let this guy, if
Right.
I get any. Yeah, and Trump put a big hypothetical. Well, if you're actually concerned with the enemy, we used to have a certain thing we would do to folks who committed treason like that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't like all this talk. I didn't like the locker up chance. I don't like the idea of
I don't either.
Locking people up, because to me that doesn't. They all belong in Gitmo. If we're going to go down that
At the end of the day,
road,
you're right.
all of
you're
us.
Right. But we have to make a stand at some point.
What would make me happier is not like Hillary in a jumpsuit, like having to go to prison, or James Clapper or John Brennan or any of these yahoos. What I want to see is them lose their jobs.
Yes.
Them lose their power.
Yes.
Them lose their prestige.
Ooh, we could cancel them.
Right.
How do we do that?
And like I said earlier, I would hope I have friends in the establishment. There are a lot of folks currently working in the national government, and this is a terrible aspect of what's happening, is DC's very alluring. If you're talented, if you're very smart,
it's the frat.
You can make a lot of money in DC.
It's the fun
And
frat,
so
man.
that creates a brain drain from all sorts of other industries and positions in government at local government levels.
And it's screwing the country.
Yes.
That's
it
what
really
they don't
is.
see. That's what kills me.
And
They
so
don't see
if
that.
we fire a lot of these folks, you do mass layoffs, what you would find is these people will be fine. You will find they will be fine.
Yep.
Go write the next great American novel, or work on AI, or do something. Y'all are talented, but stop lording it over other people. That's where we got the problem.
Yep.
Just make Burning Man permanent. Go move there permanently. Just go there.
Threaten me with a good time.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and her team, including Madeline, who we got to see yesterday.
So good to see her yesterday.
Oh, it's fantastic seeing Madeline Cannon
lovely.
there. And as Madeline was telling us yesterday, right now, 'tis the season for refinance.
Oh, no
deals.
doubt. No doubt. We were talking about credit card debt and how most people's credit cards are double-digit interest rates. Even though interest rates, like you said, they've gone up, they're not double digits. You could refinance that and save a whole lot of money. Remember some of the examples she gave us yesterday of a guy saving over $1,000 a month after refinancing.
It's amazing. Yeah, and if you're thinking, well, I can't. No. You can't afford those minimum payments on those credit cards. Don't be looking at national, international headlines. Look at your own financial situation, and then go to Alabama Home Mortgage. They're folks that can actually sit down with you, get to know you, your goals in a refinance or buying a home. And, well, there's a reason they're so trusted. I'll put it that way. They're that good. No surprises on closing day. I mean, some person, we've had actually not just one, many people bring them flowers. They're that happy with Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So whether you're looking to buy or refi, especially if you're a veteran, they're VA Home Loan certified there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can also apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon. Well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house with me. And we have Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances on the line. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Hey, Joey. How are y'all?
Doing really good.
I'm doing all right. We're just soldiering through the week, trying to keep up our spirits here. Now, one thing that does kind of help me relax is that big old honking TV that I bought from you there.
Yes, sir.
I love that Samsung 85-inch Samsung QLED, folks, and really enjoy watching movies, but all sorts of stuff. Sports lately, like football, looks amazing. And so if somebody just kind of watched the first few weeks of college or pro football, and they're like, man, my TV's tiny. Do you have options there for like big, like you're in the game sort of picture?
Well, I have a Samsung television that goes up to 98 inches. I have one in the back that's come in. I have 85-inch units on the floor. I have a short throw projector that most people think is a TV, and it's 100-inch.
Oh, wow.
And it sells for probably I could probably sell it in the $300 to $3,500 range. It's pretty cool.
And folks who don't know what a short throw is, that's like the projector's kind of right in front of the screen it's projecting onto.
That's right. It's probably 12 inches away from the wall. The screen mounts on the wall, and everything is dependent on the height of the cabinet that you put the projector on.
Mm-hmm.
Is how high you put the screen, and it's a simple formula, but you have to follow the formula, and it'll do 100-inch. Some people have tried to cheat it, and you pull it out a little further, and you get a bigger picture, but the screen is 100 inches, so you really want to stay there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And, of course, when you're talking about a 100-inch screen or 90-something-inch screen, even 85 inches, folks are probably going, I don't know how I get that to the house or how I even set that up, but y'all can take care of that there, right?
That's right. That's right. The 100-inch TV is a big bear to get there. So, but we do have our big delivery truck that can get it there, and then we'll have Michael Jacks come in, and he'll do all the finessing with it and get it all set up. The short throw projector would be much easier for you to get home. Some assembly is required, so you've got a box that fits on the back seat of most cars, and then you've got the screen that you do put together. So it kind of comes in like a long fishing tube type of box.
Well, folks, you can check out what we talked about, and so much more. They're at thinkcohens.com. That's thinkcohens.com. Or you can always call Michael and his team there at 277-8890. And you're still there on the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're here 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturday. You just need to come by and ask us questions. Let us ask you questions, and we'll try to steer you to the right choice for whatever your needs are.
Well, I appreciate your time as always, Michael, and also helping me out. I'm a very happy customer of Cohen's myself, folks, and we'll talk again soon. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Joey. Have a great day.
Again, that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Not much time left here before the top of the hour break. But, yeah, I'm seriously looking at James Clapper or Brennan or any of these folks continue to give lectures on the fealty to the Constitution.
Right.
Give me a break. These are the same dopes who are like, I'm worried that Trump's upsetting the independence of the FBI. Like, what the heck are you talking about? He's the executive, the chief executive. So whether it's the FBI or the State Department or the Pentagon, like that should be, the people elect the guy who's in charge, right?
Right.
Not that if we'll pretend he's in charge, we'll argue over the given person being in charge, but everybody's actually doing the dirty work and moving, the pieces around the chessboard. They're behind the scenes. They're in the shadows. In a second, we got a clip coming up. This is from, a disgruntled former Trump employee. You might remember this woman, Cassidy Hutchinson.
I do remember her.
Yeah, and, here is just a little preview. We'll play the full clip in a second after the top of the hour break. But Cassidy Hutchinson says, men have been running this country for too long, and it's clearly not working. You know what's going to happen.
What?
Guys are going to start cutting off their junk so they can win. This is how much men are pigs.
If it's all the same to you,
right?
I would like to just keep my junk and just be normal.
Yeah, any man who would do that for power, I don't think he should get your vote. But we'll get into her reasoning of men have run this country for too long, and it's clearly not working. Disgruntled Trump employee after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Senate marching ahead with a bipartisan approach to prevent a government shutdown. But on the House side, Speaker Kevin McCarthy asked Republicans to pass their own temporary measure to keep the government open. A House test vote set for Friday, one day before the shutdown deadline. The White House says Private Travis King, the American soldier who sprinted into North Korea across the heavily fortified border between the Koreas 2 months ago, has been released into U.S. custody. Republicans meeting for their second presidential debate tonight, and for the second time, former President Donald Trump will not be sharing the stage with them. Tonight's debate at 9 p.m. Eastern. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 200 points and the Nasdaq 16 points in the red. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by JB Windows and Siding. Call Jones Brothers. You'll be glad you did.
JB Windows and Siding has what you're looking for. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Look for a cooler day today by about 10 degrees with a high temperature in the lower 80s. Nice little easterly breeze. I think clouds will dominate most of the time. There could be some isolated showers here and there, maybe a thunderstorm, but not many to go around. Tonight's low down to about 68. Tomorrow, comfortable, high 84, should be dry, uneventful. We're back to the upper 80s on Friday and near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny with tolerable humidity and comfortable nights. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
The Legislative Council that operates within the Alabama legislature
has approved a contract to build a new state house. The contract is with the Retirement Systems of Alabama. The next step in the project is the design phase. The state will either buy the property outright from the RSA at the end of all construction or enter into a 25-year lease in which the state would then own the facility at the end of that time. No price tag has been made public when it comes to this project. The current State House was first the Alabama Highway Department building that opened up in 1963. Then in 1985, the Alabama legislature moved in. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Grocery Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
A special election was held in Jefferson County this past Tuesday, and now a runoff election will need to be held. This is a result of none of the candidates bringing in over 50% of the vote. There were a total of 7 candidates running for House District Seat 55 after Fred Plump Jr. resigned due to fraud charges. The runoff will be between Travis Hendricks and Sylvia Swain. Well, there's more library controversy erupting down in the city of Fairhope. A private investigator from Orange Beach, Wendy Pickering, was asked by parents in Baldwin County to look into the nature of the children books at the library. Pickering now says that what she found was so alarming that she had to contact the FBI since it fell into the category of child pornography. Pickering referred to the 2003 PROTECT Act and says the book is technically illegal, and she even went so far as to contact Governor Ivey over it. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food.
I really enjoy munching my way down the Midway. I can just smell all the great food I love. Giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, and anything deep fried.
Get the free Fair app at your app store. Coliseum Clear Bag Policy in effect. 17 and under must be accompanied by an adult 21 or over.
It's the best 10 days of fall.
For October 6th through the 15th.
The Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Got more comments rolling in on the live stream. Folks, if you want to watch the live stream, you can watch on Facebook, my Facebook page, News Talk's Facebook page, on Twitter X at the Joey Clark. But I think the best way is go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube. That's Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel so you see when we go live. But you know the schedule, noon to 3 every day. And we are getting a lot of comments here. Mark says, has Eddie seen a movie on your 95-inch TV? It's actually 85 inches. And, of course, Eric is quick on the draw. What's 10 inches between friends? And Romex Angler just won't leave us alone. Appreciate all the comments, sir. We were asking, who is this guy off the air? He's too clever. But are y'all trying to wait until fame comes before you have the next News and Views party? I heard Eddie's house is nice this time of year. Yeah, I've only been invited once, Romex Angler. So it is nice. It's quite nice, in fact. But I don't know if Eddie wants to host a big party with all of us. That seems a little much. He's done a lot of work during that nice little piece of property there on the lake. He doesn't want us yahoos messing things up for him. But he actually had to step out, so I'll bring that up with him, Romex Angler. Appreciate all the comments on the live stream, folks. Let's go to now this clip. Cassidy Hutchinson. Men have been running this country for too long, and it's clearly not working. All right. And it's apparently, she's got a book out called Enough. Cassidy Hutchinson reveals the chaos in Trump White House. The chaos. But in particular, let's hear her case for why women need to rule the world.
You know, Cassidy, I've been a Republican for much of my life. Like you, know Mark Meadows. I've known him for a while. Known Donald Trump for a while. Known people like Lindsey Graham for a while. And I never cease being shocked by my friends that I had that I would have never guessed would have blindly fallen into line behind a guy who puts himself above the country. But there have been a lot of great surprises, too. I've had people that I would have guessed would have been the first ones to blindly follow, sort of an authoritarian type leader, who've actually pushed back. And I'm just curious, in your experience, when you...
Spit the question out, Joe! Anyway.
You've made this decision. Have there been some pleasant surprises, some people that you thought would abandon you, who actually have remained steadfast friends and defenders of you?
There have been, but I think the more enlightening part of this post-Trump era part of my life for me, and this is going to sound hokey, but is how welcoming people have been. You know, and I have lived a lot of this past year largely in isolation, and part of that was self-induced, part of that was for security reasons. But I have felt embraced, and my eyes have been reopened to the fact that there are good people there. There are people that genuinely care about public service. And, you know, as terrible as January 6th was, I still have hope. I still have hope that we can come back from this. I still have hope that there are good leaders, but we have to be able to elect those leaders. We have to educate people on the dangers of power and power being in the wrong hands.
Yeah,
Oh, goodness gracious. That's the wrong clip. Thank you for that, Real Clear Politics. But she goes on to say that, yeah, men have been running the show for way too long. Scarborough backs her up. A misogynistic coarse culture occur when 67-year-old men talk this way about young women. She says, you know, Joe, I wish I could say it was surprising that there are environments like this that still exist. It's an unfortunate truth. And I think that's something that we need to call attention to as a society, especially in our political system. We need more women in government. Well, I feel like there have been women running things actually for a while. I don't mean presidents, but when you look at the National Security Council, for instance, when you look at a lot of the foreign policy decisions made over the last 20, 30 years, I think women have been pretty involved in those decisions. Whether you're talking about Susan Rice or Samantha Power or Condi Rice, Madeleine Albright for that matter. There are a lot of folks that come to mind, people elected and people unelected. So I guess if we just add more women, then power won't corrupt in the same way. I'm for the best person getting the daggum job. And if you can make the case to the people that you're either applying for that job with or you're literally running for office, you make that case to the voters, God love you. I don't honestly care at the end of the day whether you're a man or a woman or what you are. I care about ideas that are going to push this country in the right direction. I will say there is a clear political, I think it's the biggest political divide right now in our country is between men and women, where the Democratic Party has very much become the party of young, college-educated women, and more young men, in particular, are moving to the Republican Party. And actually, if the divide continues to grow, it might not work out for either party as much as they hope. Some are saying, oh, the more men jump to Republicans, the more we're going to see gains. Or no, the more women jump to Democrats, the more we're going to see gains. I tend to think it's kind of a wash at the end of the day. But in terms of the effect on society, yeah, there's times where I admit that I don't want touchy-feely, nice language around, questions of war. I don't touchy-feely nice language around, say, locking people in their homes and mandating they take an experimental drug. That's never happened, but I'm not pushing anything, any conspiracy or anything. But that would never occur if we just had more women in there. 272-9228. Yeah, I'm not sure I completely buy that. Eddie rejoining the studio here. Everything all right?
Yeah, got it closing today, so we also
okay.
hoops to jump through.
All right. Now, Romex Angler asked, are we waiting to get famous to do a News and Views party? And he said he's heard that your house is very nice.
I don't know anything about that. Which house? One of my rentals in Chisholm? They are nice, especially this time of year. The leaves are changing.
Sure. Yeah, they're great. I'm sorry, that thing happened with my head. It was involuntary. No, every single thing you own is just, it's like, it's 5 stars. It's amazing.
Roofs don't leak. That's important.
But we do need to do a get-together here soon.
Oh, I agree. I get a lot of questions about that. It's funny, though, because it's never, hey, we should get together. We should do this. It's always, you need to grab Joey and drag him out of the house and we go here. That's what I always
I've been
hear.
going out a lot more lately.
You have.
But just don't tell y'all everything I do.
But there's not been any spottings of you in the wild. If you see Joey in the wild, take a video, take a picture.
Well, to be honest, I'm not often up in the Wetumpka area or the Prattville area.
You're in Montgomery.
I'm in Montgomery, and I occasionally get recognized.
Yeah?
But not that often. I kind of like it that way.
Me too.
Like, have folks recognized you?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I get incredibly embarrassed. I'm not good at it at all.
Mark Cumby says, Joey has 85 inches. Stop it. That's a lie. Trying to lower expectations.
Yeah. What is bigger, you or your TV?
My goodness. The TV.
Do you ever... Nah, never mind.
Shut up. Just shut up right now the way you're talking to me. Just be quiet. How about this? Let's go to a different clip because that one with it's so disappointing. It's kind of... I ended up doing like DDP yoga, and it's Diamond Dallas Page. Like, you can do it, brother. And like his voice is like normal wrestling voice. I tried doing other people's yoga.
I remember you telling me this.
And it made me want to throw something through a window. It's like, now just breathe and feel your center, the air flowing down into. And that was what her voice was like.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we need more of that in the government.
Mm-hmm. See, but by just saying that we're annoyed by that, we're playing into the problem they're talking about.
But can't you like and dislike things without it being a problem anymore?
I suppose. Well, it depends on if the problem that's created is politically advantageous to a particular group of people pushing the problem. Yeah, that seems to be the issue. But I do like these double standards. It's like men and women, completely equal. I'm like, cool. I've been convinced. I was born in 1988. I've grown up with strong, accomplished women all around me my whole life. But then, after we agree that, men and women, we're equal. We're legally equal, all this stuff. But women have a special intuition. Wait. I thought we were equal.
Well, another thing, women are allowed to say, I don't like to date fat men, and no one discourages
or poor
them
men.
Right. Nobody gives them any hard time about that.
Mm-hmm.
You
or
me
short
say that.
men, I know.
Yeah.
It just seems like I'm just complaining at this point. It just seems like a double standard to me. Now, we want to admit that women have certain qualities that men don't, and men have certain qualities that women don't.
That's all
and yet we're still equal in the eyes of God and in the law. Okay, that's cool with me. But don't be trotting out the 77 cents on the dollar thing. You're not doing the same job. You can't take all jobs in the economy and say, well, men and women's earnings. Like, why don't you look into the jobs people are choosing to go into?
That could be.
There's an amazing, it's a few years old now, but it was in kind of the Scandinavian countries, like very egalitarian. They've been pushing this more and more and more. And what they found is the more they controlled to create the social, legal atmosphere to be equal between men and women, they found is that exaggerated men and women's differences. It's happening in this country the more we go down that road. Because what's amazing is the more you make men and women equally free, they have different temperaments. The biggest divide is men are more interested in things, women are more interested in people. So if you're more interested in things, you're probably going to become a computer scientist or an engineer or an architect or whatever. If you're more interested in people, you might have a brain that's a math brain, a science brain, but you're like, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a caretaker. I want to be a teacher. These sorts of things. Are there women who do manly jobs?
Oh,
yes.
heck yeah.
Are there men who do feminine jobs? Sure.
Oh, yes.
But on average, like, let's admit the facts here. And I just find it's a shallow way of talking about the problems in our country. Very shallow.
I just don't see those problems as they see them. I think we've got bigger problems. Not saying this doesn't need attention, but it doesn't need to come to the necessary top of the priority list right now.
So let's check in on the latest in Washington with Brian Donalds, who is a rising star within the party.
Okay.
And Brian Donalds, well, he's going to, it looks like walking in the bowels of one of these congressional office buildings, and he's going to give his take on what's the latest when it comes to the government being funded.
What do you want to talk about today?
We've been talking about for the past 3 weeks. The Senate's bipartisan proposal.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Would you support that if McCarthy brought it to the floor?
No, that thing is dead over here. Are you kidding me?
Why?
Are you sure? Well, first of all, you continue spending. You have $6.2 billion for Ukraine. They do nothing to secure our southern border. That is just a non-starter. The Senate needs to get real.
Good.
You've all seen the images at the southern border. It has to stop immediately. And this government should not continue to be funded if we don't secure our border.
Walk us through the idea that there's 77 Democrats and Republicans. That's a big, that's more than two.
There's 77. Like, is that guy from the 20s? Not going to catch me, copper. You're going to get a budget deal done, Byron?
3/4.
That just means they're wrong.
That just means they're wrong. 77 senators are wrong.
If you look at $33 trillion in debt, 77 senators have been wrong for a long time up here. Just because they come to some silly agreement over there that changes nothing about our country doesn't mean that they're right. That just means that they're weak.
I like that a lot. And I don't think that's an insult. I think he's just describing the truth.
Yep.
I like this guy.
Congressman, it's a 45-day stopgap measure. Why not just wait and have the fight at another date?
Why don't you just kick the can down the road?
To wait and have the fight at another date, and it never comes.
Thank you.
And there are people back home who have seen this play time and time again, and they're frustrated with it. So even though there is a continuing measure that I authored that would actually secure our southern border and cut 8% off the top of our federal government, at least that's a positive step in a direction to get our fiscal house in order and secure our border. The Senate's not doing that.
And where are you getting the votes for that?
Man, working on it. Everything's a work in process.
Is that the CR that you think the speaker would put on the floor on Friday?
No, I think even that one's going to have some adjustments because there's things that the conference wants to see. I think our conference wants to cut spending even more than that. I fully support that. Our conference wants to actually have a real debt commission to study ways to get the mandatory side of our spending under control, because that has to happen as well. And there's some other things that they want to see.
So you're a no on it as it stands now?
No one would.
On McCarthy's plan for a CR?
Well, he hasn't even stipulated what he's probably doing it now in conference, so I should probably don't want to hear what he's saying. So let me actually see what he says he wants to do before I render judgment on that. But on the Senate's thing, nope.
Congressman, at the top you said that we shouldn't fund the government unless you secure the border. So are you saying that you're willing to shut down the government if you don't get the border policies you want?
No, I'm saying that Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer are willing to shut it down if they can keep their border open. Because that's what they're doing.
But Senate
that's
leaders,
what they're doing.
But Senate leaders put forward a bipartisan CR to keep the government open, and then you can deal with this border issue afterwards. So how can you place the blame?
Yeah, but they won't deal with it.
They never have dealt with it.
They never
That's right.
deal with it.
Right.
Let's see how he answers.
On Democrats and Biden for shutting down the government.
Well, that's very easy because we all see what's happening at the southern border. Congress today can say, you know what, we're going to change policy on this because this is not working. You don't need more time to work on it. We all know what the policy writers that are needed to get it done. They don't want to do it.
But why tank the government and why shut down the government over border policy?
I've been very clear. My position is close the border, keep the government open. That is my position. The position of Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden is leave the government open and then leave the border open. That does not work for the American people.
But you guys couldn't even advance some of these proposals back in July. I mean, shouldn't that ask should have been back in July? Well, I know. I mean, I know you passed one bill back in July, but I mean, if you get down the train tracks here 7 weeks later, and then say, oh, okay, I need to meet with the president, which is what the speaker said yesterday. We need to do the border, which I know you guys have said for a long time.
Yeah,
but shouldn't that have been taken care of earlier?
Well, again, we put forward our proposal. What did the Senate do?
You couldn't even pass your DHS bill.
We put forward our proposal on border security, HR 2. It has passed the House. Did the Senate do anything with this proposal? No. Have they decided, hey, maybe we should debate the House's proposal? No. Did Chuck Schumer lead an envoy of senators to the southern border on a fact-finding mission? This place loves fact-finding missions. You see what's going on in the southern border? No. They've done nothing. But now they come and say they want money. Well, if you want money, I want to secure the southern border and secure our nation. Here.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm out. Good. Get out of there. It's always amazing, too, how much it's not that surprising. It's the insider DC press.
Yeah.
But how much they're always on the side, well, we got to keep it open. And why is this crisis? It's like, if I'm Byron Donalds or I'm Matt Gaetz, I'm like, we're not the ones driving this car.
Right.
We've been riding in this car. And Dad said we're going to stop at Buc-ee's to get that brisket sandwich.
Right.
And he just drove right past it. And he's like, well, we'll get it on the way back home, kids. It's like, I don't believe you, Dad. You've never taken us to Buc-ee's. You just keep promising you're taking us to Buc-ee's. I want to try that brisket.
Well, I love the way they encourage him to go ahead and just take the deal. They said they will work on it, later down the road. Just go ahead and sign.
Right. More fake bull crap from the politicians in D.C. But I appreciate Byron Donalds being so calm there.
Yeah, me too.
As he's dealing with that nonsense. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Dr. Tom Pershing, chiropractor here in Montgomery. So if you're an auto accident victim, any auto accident victims may need spinal care a few days after your accident. Could be you get out of it and you think you're fine, but you start to notice, especially when you're waking up in the morning, something's wrong with my body.
Yeah.
Something is out of whack. And especially if it's a spinal injury, you have to get that taken care of, folks, because it will only get worse if you let it fester. It doesn't matter if the accident was caused by you or someone else, by the way. You can always call Dr. Tom Pershing there at 676-1490 or just visit drpershing, that's drpershing.net. And you don't want to delay treatment because you may end up with permanent pain or other symptoms. Like I said, you let it fester, it gets worse. And Dr. Pershing has been treating auto accidents, farm injuries, gym injuries for over 35 years. Common problems treated include things like low back pain, whiplash, knee pain, other sprains and strains caused by accidents. All this need to be treated as soon as reasonably possible. So again, you can always find out more at drpershing.net. That's drpershing.net, or call 676-1490. Make an appointment today, 676-1490. Be sure to tell Dr. Tom Pershing that Joey and Eddie over there, who's quiet as a church mouse, that we sent you. More news and views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot. Is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back,
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Oh, you're seeing the story.
I just see your screen there, yeah.
Yeah, folks, this is a silly story, but I feel like something silly.
That's pretty funny.
The politics. Again, the Republican debate tonight at 8 o'clock our time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Woo!
But the story here, Eddie, is a flock of sheep in Greece wander into medical marijuana greenhouse, devour 600 pounds of Mary Jane.
Ow.
This is from the Babylon Bee. So here's the story. Relentless rain wreaked havoc across the central region, coming torrential downpours with landslides, crumbling roads and bridges, and crippling vital water supplies. While looking to avoid flooding, the herd of sheep sought refuge in the greenhouse and simultaneously helped themselves to over 600 pounds of cannabis.
That's crazy. How many sheep?
Like
3?
No, it was a whole herd of them. I'm sure it was a good bit of them.
That is crazy.
Funny thing, the shepherd of this flock said that once the herb kicked in, the sheep started acting all sorts of strange, including some of them jumping higher than goats, which never happens. Now, that's something I didn't know, that goats always jump higher than sheep unless the sheep are high on pot.
I just didn't know that was a side effect of sheep getting high, is they'll start jumping higher than goats.
The owner of the greenhouse told a local paper, "I don't know if it's for laughing or crying. We had the heat wave and we lost a lot of production. We had the floods, we lost almost everything, and now this." The herd entered the greenhouse and ate what was left. I don't know what to say, honestly. And this was in Greece, folks. That's no fun.
Wow.
I feel bad for that guy. And the Not the Bee says now all they need is 600 pounds of Cool Ranch Doritos. I mean,
That's
Cool
what I
Ranch are
wondered.
pretty good.
Did they get the munchies and eat more? Or did they?
We have more bizarre stories, by the way, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I'll read the headline for you, then I'll pull it up on the stream here. But so there's kind of a reveal here, folks. And again, folks, Joey Clark Live, if you want to watch the live stream.
Like and subscribe.
But the headline is Doomsday Cult Leader Who Thinks He's Jesus Keeps 1,500 Kids as Sex Slaves on Island. There's a group called Save the Children. They've stepped up to try and protect an estimated 1,500 children who are living among the cult on a remote island and said to be facing forced marriages and sexual abuse. But this cult leader thinks he's the
Real
second
deal, right?
coming of Jesus. You wonder what he looks like? Oh, here, let me share.
Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, I think he's Filipino.
Basta Pinoy.
J. Rince B. Quillario. J. Rince B. Quillarino. It's a quasi-religious cult, Omega de Solanera, where it is believed by Save the Children that rape, sexual violence, child abuse, forced marriage has been perpetrated on minors. 1,500 kids. And so the short, fat guy in this photo is the one, number one, doing this satanic stuff. Okay, as that's what demons look like, I guess.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I guess they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But that squat little guy thinks he's the second coming of Jesus, and that gives him license to do all sorts of awful things to people.
I just don't understand where people...
Yeah, this is... yeah, that doesn't need to stand. I mean, have you known anybody that's ever gotten caught up in a cult?
Not that I can think of. I know some ex-cult members, and I was able to talk with them. But
what did you learn from those ex?
Well, I call Scientology a cult, and that was one of the girls I used to work with as a realtor. And she said basically she was brought into it by her parents. So she came in, I think, when she was 12 or 13. Didn't know she was, but her life story was, Joey, they never had any kind of foundation. They were always on the move. So this was just something normal to her. It was like, okay, this is the new thing we're doing. But she said she quickly realized, I think within a year or so, that the parents stayed with Scientology, but they separated. She said basically Scientologists separated them. And then she went off to, there was a special camp just for her when she turned 15. She stayed at that camp. I forget what it was, the Navy thing or something like that. Anyway, she stayed there for a little while. Always wanted to get out, but fear was the biggest thing. Because they told them, if you leave, we're going to come get you.
And they do that.
They do, and that's what she said they would do. That.
Create all sorts of rumors online about you. They'll try to ruin you whatever way they can.
So, and that's the only person I've ever known. But I don't understand. Okay, they say, Joey, I'm going to come get you.
She never really bought into it.
No, she always looked for her way out. She said after about, when they shipped her off to camp and she realized that her parents were gullible and these people took advantage of them, she said her only goal in life was to get out.
Wow.
Just get out.
Yeah, I was wondering, though, the folks who are like true believers and they have to be essentially deprogrammed in a way.
Well, there's that documentary on YouTube about Scientology, and there's several of them. I just can't believe that Scientology, and I'm going to get in trouble.
It always, when you hear about a cult, too, it always ends up with like weird sex stuff. You know what I mean?
I think that's the ultimate control. Like you as a cult leader, you keep pushing more and more and more, and then you're like, well, what else? All right, now I'll get them to all have sex with me. That's the ultimate, right? I guess for some, yeah. And the ultimate control.
272-9228. That's just absolutely crazy. I'm just going through my list of all my crazy stories, and we have another one, a bizarre story, in fact, is the way the headline reads, involving Ron DeSantis, not him personally, but Ron DeSantis and Tucker Carlson's dogs. Now, this is Michael Wolff who wrote this, folks. Okay. And Michael Wolff, I think, wrote some stuff about Trump that got a lot of fanfare. But Michael Wolff says Tucker Carlson was source of story claiming former Fox News host soured on Florida governor for kicking his dog during a visit.
What?
I'm not making this up.
What?
Here it is. Daily Mail. Both the TV anchor and Ron DeSantis deny this claim that Michael Wolff just made this crap up, which could easily be possible. But author Michael Wolff says the claim came from Carlson himself. It's a big book inside the end of Fox News and the Murdoch dynasty. But this was apparently a disastrous lunch date between Tucker and DeSantis at Tucker's Florida mansion. And apparently, Tucker was mad that Ron DeSantis kicked the dog belonging to Tucker Carlson.
I'd be mad too if some dude really kicked my dog. You'd be mad if somebody kicked your dog?
Kicked the dog? Yeah, I'd be mad at that. Well, it depends on what the dog's doing.
No, that's true too.
Sometimes the dog gets out of control.
Right, you got to check him.
272-9228.
Speaking of the dogs, you hear about Biden's dog, Commander? He's bitten an 11th person now, an 11th Secret Service officer.
Wow. I guess that dog hasn't been trained well. Shocking that dog wouldn't be trained well by Joe. It this state of mind.
11.
Unless he's trained him like, go bite him. Go do it, Commander. Go bite him. Good boy. Good boy. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, of course, they can help you men out. They're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. Of course, they can help you with any symptoms you might have when it comes to low testosterone. And they have all sorts of treatments. Could be something that's like a pill you take each day. It's more of a long-term light touch approach to increase your testosterone. Or you can get injections. I think they even have like outpatient surgery options, like a pellet that dissolves over time. They've got all sorts of treatment options depending on where you are in life, usually. Now, most men in their 50s and 60s start to notice a loss of testosterone. But there's really been an outbreak of men in their 20s and 30s who are experiencing this problem. Is it microplastics? Is it what is it?
Environmental.
But it is happening. So if you're feeling constantly sluggish, run down, physically and mentally, no sex drive to speak of, you're just never in the mood, well, it could be low testosterone. And most men, after they get treatment there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, which is a key to long-term health. And you'll even notice an increased sex drive.
Nothing wrong with that, Tony.
No, there's a lot right with it. So call up Montgomery Men's Health today. Make an appointment. 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Make an appointment there. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon with Joey and Eddie. More News and Views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Kickback Ranch and Event Center wants you to join us October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for our annual Frontier Days and Fall Festival. Enjoy live foraging demonstrations and the way life used to be. Face painting, small animals, games, bounce houses, water activities for the kids. Vendors, food trucks, boot walk for cancer, give blood with Life South, and enjoy live music featuring bluegrass with the Southern Gentlemen. The Kickback Ranch annual Frontier Days, October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is $5. Call 286-4140 or go to kickbackranch.net. Be there.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Pawn Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Look for a cooler day today by about 10 degrees with a high temperature in the lower 80s. Nice little easterly breeze. I think clouds will dominate most of the time. There could be some isolated showers here and there, maybe a thunderstorm, but not many to go around. Tonight's low down to about 68. tomorrow, comfortable, high 84, should be dry, uneventful. We're back to the upper 80s on Friday and near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny with tolerable humidity and comfortable nights. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. So let's try and see if this mic has been fixed.
Is it working? You have volume?
Not really.
No volume?
No. It's real low. Yeah, well, anyway. It's not doing the thing it was doing, but it's like
Dead low.
very low.
Okay.
All right, hop on the other one. Again, a lot of comments coming in on the live stream today. Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Romex says, Joey, how does the Lifetime channel look on the big TV?
Ooh, that's a good question, Joey.
What are you
Especially
talking
with
about?
the Christmas movies coming up now, and we got the fall. You know people are going to fall in love on Lifetime channel, Joey.
Yeah, but I'm not married.
I know, but you can get you some tips on how to be that guy that stars in the Lifetime movie that always gets the win.
Are you confusing the Lifetime movies with the Hallmark movies?
Same thing, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No, Lifetime movies, I think, have a little more like
Are they the ones
intrigue, where it's like, my husband's been poisoning me for 5 or 6 years.
Hold on, Lifetime movies I thought would be the other way around. I've been poisoning my husband for the last 5 years.
There's
I'm
that.
Getting busted.
There's that one too. There's variations on a theme.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like the sort of the intrigue
Yeah.
sort of stuff is more the Lifetime.
Okay.
Like, I feel it's a little more inspired by wine and Xanax as opposed to like what Hallmark movies are just pure syrup.
That's what it's supposed to be, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't watch either.
I can't.
No, seriously, my brother, on Monday night, called my brother because the baby is due anytime now, folks. It's just, real quick, it's been a whirlwind of emotions for me because I'm so excited to be an uncle, see my brother become a father, his lovely wife Caroline become a mother. It's amazing.
Yes.
And then you get the passing of Jack, and there's a lot of other things going on in life I just can't talk about publicly, and it's, what a week.
It's been a week, man.
What a week. And now I've lost my train of thought.
Well, I think you were talking about how serious those movies are. Like, besides Lifetime, the Hallmark Channel. No, it was the Lifetime one. Is one I tried to watch, Joey. Mother, May I Marry Murder. Mother.
See,
Can
that's
I
a
Marry
Lifetime
Murder?
movie, yeah.
Right. So
Oh, no.
I had to see, well, what is this garbage?
Now I remember. My brother called up, check on him and Caroline, and he's like, "You watching the Bucks game?" Because it's the Monday night game. And I'm like, "Oh no, I forgot I was watching geopolitical videos. Do you know Poland's going to become the powerhouse of Europe? They're going to be the largest, almost second to the United States military power and NATO." And he's like, "What are you talking?"
He's like, "No, but the Bucks are losing, Joey."
Right. Have you heard of the porcupine strategy by Taiwan to maybe take out the big... No, seriously, one of the plans for Taiwan, if they could have their own deterrence without relying on the U.S., is if, hey, China, you attack us, we hit the largest dam in the world that you've built right there on the river. And if they do that, it would flood like 80% of the population. So it wouldn't get Beijing, but it would hit Shanghai, it would hit Wuhan, it would hit everywhere.
Ooh, wow.
And so they're trying to come up with like non-nuclear deterrence in that regard. Now, it's a heck of a structure. Folks, if you've not looked up some of the infrastructure China has built, it is remarkable
That
to
and
behold.
coal factories. They're building them as quick as they can, buddy.
But they're kind of saying, well, it turns out you might need bunker busters to blow that thing up, or else you're just going to give it a cosmetic makeover. You ain't going to touch that thing. So I don't know.
Every place like that's got a weak spot. Remember the Death Star?
But anyway, that's what I watch. Seriously, I watch comedy podcasts. I watch other nerd political things. Spare me the sappy, syrupy crap.
Okay.
What's the Cusack one about music? Jack Black's in it. High Fidelity?
Yeah, High Fidelity. No, that's not Jack Black though.
Jack Black's in it.
In High Fidelity?
I think it is.
Okay, I don't remember High Fidelity.
And I'm not talking about that crappy remake, but a rom-com can be good, but just like the B-movie syrup, not good for you.
All right, you say this. Now, let's say it's the holiday season and Joey starts finding someone attractive, and she's into those movies. I got a feeling you're going to come in here and go, hey, man, I know we used to make fun of this, but I watched this great movie last night.
Really?
So if that happens, I don't care who the girl is, I'm breaking you up. I'm breaking y'all up. Some way, somehow, it's not going to happen. Just know that.
What, I got to marry a lady who's like so butch she watches military stuff like me?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Actually, some of these Air Force chicks around here
Whew,
are pretty
hot,
good,
baby.
Pretty good looking in shape.
You got a good job, great benefits.
Pretty secure
Right.
compared to, what do you do?
Joey,
Talk radio.
you can take that radio gig anywhere, Joey.
Yeah, I know. Who knows? Who knows when love will happen?
When you least expect it.
Wait, we're getting more comments in on the love life. Michael says he's an overworked radio star in the big city. She's a wandering traveler on Carmichael Road. No, I don't think that's
Yes, Joey,
that's
you
probably
can
not a
rescue her.
wandering. That's probably a street walking cheetah, as they call them.
Well, she's
a
wandering
prostitute.
around. Looking
You know
for
what
her next date.
You know what a prostitute is,
Oh
right?
yeah, lot lizard.
They trade favors for money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that would work out. And then they're adding
don't throw
on.
that one away yet.
And love ensues when he brings her in for a quote-unquote interview. Actually, I've learned that I'm usually at my best.
Yeah.
And even on the air, I'm not always my best, but I'm usually at my best on the air.
Okay.
You've met me outside of work. I'm quiet. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I want to watch my nerd stuff.
It's very true.
Right.
A lot like other people, though, to be quite
And
honest.
I'll just say I've gotten a few dates after interviewing women in the studio.
From here?
Yeah. Not since you've been around.
Oh,
I'm
what
blaming you.
Am I crushing your vibe?
Yeah, you're killing it.
Oh.
You're killing the vibe.
Oh.
272-9228.
Did not know that.
This part of the program brought to you by Bath Innovations of Alabama. And they're Bath Innovations of Alabama. You need to, go to bathinnovations.com, folks.
Right.
Of course, you can stop by the showroom there on the boulevard or call them up if you have a specific question. But there are so many great products there at Bath Innovations of Alabama that when you go to bathinnovations.com, start to mix and match, you're going to see that the possibilities are endless. Could be you want to do a full remodel. Could be you're tired of looking down and seeing that discolored, chipped, gross sink.
Yep.
Could be you want a new shower head just to spruce up, the showering experience, like one of those waterfall
Big
ones.
rain head?
The rain heads
Nice.
are amazing. They really are. Or maybe you getting a little up there in age and you're not as sure-footed as you used to be, or you maybe have other disability accessibility concerns. They have those solutions there at Bath Innovations. But again, we're only scratching the surface talking about them for a minute here on the radio. If you go to bathinnovations.com, you can see all they have to offer. And of course, once you do that mixing and matching, you can stop by 2331 Eastern Boulevard. Be sure to tell Brad McDowell, the founder-owner over there, and his team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More news and views, after this quick break.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm telling you what, folks, the comment section of the live stream is just out of control. The way they're scripting my love life, I don't like the direction they're going in. They said I'm going to end up with herpes.
I can see that.
I don't like that.
It's okay. They got a whole community for folks that way now, Joey.
Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I am doing great. How you doing?
I've been better, especially after that comment from Eddie over there. That just hurts. Sometimes you say things that are hurtful, Eddie.
I'm sorry, Joey.
Yeah, I think everybody's here. Our eyeballs are hurting because our insurance man's here with us, and it's so over my head. All I know is we have so much insurance, it's ridiculous, and I've never had to use it. And I love him to death. He's a great guy. But the long story short is, one thing most people don't think about when you are replacing your floors. Let's say you're putting quarter round down and you put a nail through the pipe.
Oh. Right.
And 3 weeks later, you have a water damage.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Didn't even consider that.
Do you know that your homeowners will not cover that if you hire somebody that doesn't have licensed insurance?
That's right, Ray.
That ticket's on you.
Yep.
So just because you hire a guy in a pickup truck and thinks he's saving $1, you are gambling big time, and I'm not a gambler. So that's something else that we do to protect our customers. We have all the insurance, all the licenses, everything we're supposed to have, and we check it every 6 months to make sure we're up to date to protect our consumers. Because when we're in our house, that's part of my job is protecting you guys.
Right.
So there again, this is one more step behind the scenes that we don't really talk about, but that we absolutely do 100%. And so if you need a floor, call us at 285-8117, and you can sleep like a baby from that point on, knowing that everything is covered.
Again, that number for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. You can also go to PrattvilleCarpet.com or just stop by 2201 Copsford Road there. And however you get in touch, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Man, y'all have a great day.
Appreciate you, Ray.
See you, Ray.
272-9228. Let's Sam. Hello, Sam.
What up, Sammy? Good afternoon. Yeah, I've been enjoying the show, and I was just thinking something over you brought up earlier about how the Democratic Party is getting the women's vote. Yeah, it's just a majority of the ladies and whatnot in college age, and it hit me. You know, in this era of us playing hardball, we should do what the Democrats would do, something really outrageous. I think it's time for us to call for the revoke of the woman's vote. Okay, we gave them a chance, and they've proved that they're going to vote irresponsibly. And I say we take the vote back from them. They got the pill; they ought to be happy. You know, half the money and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Hello?
single man, are you, Sam?
Pardon?
Single man, are you? You single?
Yeah, at the moment, and you know, I was thinking earlier about there was this one time in 2013 where I was in a place where there was a lot of single women around and whatnot. Yeah, well, I had committed myself for a short period. You know, I had a total breakdown, and the ladies that were there getting electroshock therapy, they were friendly and nice, and pretty much they didn't remember the next day. You know, whatever you told them. So it was
well, you know, Sam, you carrying on like you usually do, you joker. You just brought back a memory. My last dinner with Jack Campbell, he's like, well, I heard Samantha call.
Hey, listen, doggone it. Here's the deal on Jack. Oh, y'all, you know we love him. But the stories. Joey, occasionally, I'll get my mother going. She's got a mind like a steel trap, and she tells all those old stories from the 50s and the 60s of downtown Montgomery and where she was working and whatnot. She saw a lot of people. And it's just, that's what Jack brought. He had that steel trap, and he had those stories. And like I said,
well, no, and he would always remember her name. He's like, "What's your grandmother's name?"
Yeah.
Helen. And I'm like, she worked in the courts. Helen Clayton.
Exactly.
I'm like, how did you pull that name out of nowhere? All these people you've met over the years, Jack. But it is amazing. I appreciate the call, Sam. Running out of time here.
Joey, we love you. Thank y'all.
See you, Sammy.
Let's see who's on one. You're on there. Who's this?
Joey.
Hi.
This is Fred. What
Hey,
are we
Fred.
gonna do with these folks trying to hook you up for some kind of crazy love life, man?
I don't know. I don't think these people have my best interest at heart if they're trying to get me to go pick up ladies of the night.
We're trying to get you some experience, son. Some experience.
Well, look, take
Is that
mine,
what you
right?
call STDs?
Get you your own personal big booty Bertha, whatever. The dog. Get you a good dog.
No, the red and fuzzy big booty Buddha, Gimli.
Big booty
Yeah.
Buddha. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was having a big back. I can't remember names like Jack did. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a big old booty. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, Tom.
No. But if it has, well,
Hey, look at the time.
Hey, G. Manetti. Hey, let me talk to Eddie for a minute off the air.
Okay, buddy, hold on just a minute.
Thanks, Fred. And thank y'all for listening. The birthday boy.
That's right, he's
It's
coming
a
up.
Happy birthday for Greg Budell. Happy birthday, Greg. Happy birthday, Greg.
There he is.
Happy birthday, Greg.
There he is.
Greg Budell's birthday's today, folks. That's why I'm stealing some time here, because I just wanted to say happy birthday,
Happy
man.
birthday, boss.
Happy birthday.
Joey, thank you. I brought the white bike
I
basket.
saw that.
Yeah,
I
just
thought someone else gave you that.
to
Again.
make you laugh. No, I brought it back to me. I saw it this morning when I was coming in and said, there's a birthday gift that means a lot to me. I think I'll share it with the gang.
It's not on your bicycle?
No.
It looks like it never made it to the bike, Greg.
It's still in its original place. But if there's somebody out there with a little girl that needs a beautiful white basket for her little bike, you got to see this. I will send you pictures.
Excellent. Well,
Happy birthday, Greg. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hours next.